when it comes to home remodeling or home building. Just go and visit them at 528 West Gaines in Monticello or call 870-367-3491. Re-elect Representative Jeff Wardlaw. Jeff Wardlaw is 100%. And good afternoon. Welcome back to UAM Football. I'm Jimmy Sledge talking with Coach Jackson here on the Coach's Corner. And, Coach, first of all, we got to go back and talk about last Saturday's ball game. Had Harding in here. Boy, it was a track meet up and down the field, both teams. And we've always talked about it. Turnovers is always a big factor. We had 3 turnovers that resulted in touchdowns for them. And that was really the difference in the game.
100%. There's no other statistic, analytics, stat, whatever you want to say, that can define that game but those. Those turnovers were big. I thought our guys played extremely well. I thought defensively we had a great game plan. Offensively we had a great game plan. But, we get that one turnover, going in. They scoop and score, go 97 yards. And we had another pick deep in our own territory, which cost us. And, there at the end, we were toward the end of the fourth quarter, we went forward on 4th down deep in our territory as well, and that's just something we had to do in that moment. But it's very, very frustrating. Jimmy, we can sit here and talk about this and that, about the bottom line. It comes down to the 3 important things that we always talk about: is turnovers, penalties, and what you're doing in the red zone. And if you go back and look at our schedule, every situation it's come back to haunt us, and we got to get better at that. It's very, very demoralizing at times, and for not only our players but of our coaches and the people that are associated with the program. And we just, we got to figure it out. We got 3 games left, none bigger than one a day, and that's gonna be important, just like it is in every game you play.
Of course, it was a physical ball game, and there's a lot of hitting going on out on the field last week. Lost to 𝗗𝗏𝗧𝗏 there late in the ball game. What's the status on him?
Well, 𝗗𝗏𝗧𝗏 had surgery on Wednesday to repair his collarbone. He broke it, and I tell you, man, that was just felt so bad for that young man, and you can see it in his face. And and we've had several kids get injured this year, and we had that one with Tanner Carson at the very beginning of the year. Just a hard-nosed football player. But I tell you, all these kids have gotten hurt. 𝗗𝗏𝗧𝗏 being the latest. They'll be back. They'll work hard. It does open the door for people to have an opportunity to play, and I tell you that KP came in and did a great job for 𝗗𝗏𝗧𝗏 when 𝗗𝗏𝗏𝗏 went down, and very, very proud of him. He's a good football player, and he brings a lot to the table. So we're always gonna, 𝗗𝗏𝗧𝗏's gonna be involved now. We probably gonna have him up in the press box today, doing some things on the sideline. We gotta look out for him. He's still pretty early from the surgery, but great young man. And that we love, and he'll be back, and KP will come in and do a great job for us.
All right, that's going to bring me up to my next question. With 𝗗𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏, you had a type of offense that you ran, and he was a dual threat. He could throw and run.
Yeah.
Klein Peter kind of changes things a little bit, I think.
Yeah, but if you watch one of his runs, you would have thought it might have been 𝗗𝗏𝗏𝗏, just a little bit bigger fella doing it, But KP's he's pretty elusive for a big guy. But I tell you, he would rather sit back in that pocket and throw it, and he does a good job when he does. KP has a cannon out. He understands the game really well. He is definitely a student of the game of football. And that was his upbringing. That's what he did, as a high school player and in junior college as well. And he's done a great job for us. But I tell you, he does a good job of sitting in that pocket. He'll be back there as long as he possibly can, and do a good job of sticking the ball in some tight spots sometimes. He does a great job of anticipating routes where they're going to be based on coverage, and those are some really positive things. So it does change a little bit, but we'll run KP as well. I mean, it's one of those deals that your third quarterback is also one of your receivers. So we got some things we're going to do, but I think that with what Ryan's thinking as far as game plan wise, it's going to be a little bit different. But we'll still do some of the same things we do with 𝗗𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Stay tuned. We got more coming up here on the Coaches Show. We'll come back and talk about today's ball game right after this timeout. As the Weevils take the field this fall, we at Union Bank want to wish the team a season of success. This is Scott Stafford with Union Bank, and we know how much time, effort, and hard work the Weevils have put into making this year great. Your friends at Union Bank understand this because we also know the value of time, effort, and hard work. And when you have a banking need arise, we'll put those standards to work for you. So go out this fall and cheer the Weevils to victory and come by one of Union Bank's convenient locations and let us show you how easy banking can be. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC. Maxwell Hardwood Flooring in Monticello is a proud sponsor of this athletic event. Building a strong team takes commitment and hard work, and Maxwell Hardwood Flooring understands the concept of teamwork. Whether it's building the finest hardwood flooring in the nation or having a winning team, it takes teamwork and dedication to get the job done. Be a part of a winning team by following your favorite team and joining your friends at Maxwell Hardwood Flooring and wishing them the best. The 2 o'clock kickoff this afternoon. We welcome you back here on the Coaches Show, and we tape our show on Friday. It's supposed to be a rainy day, but let's talk about Southeastern. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They're scoring lots of points.
They are. Good football team. Really good quarterback. Got a couple really good wide receivers. Actually got 3 or 4 wide receivers. You know, they do a good job up front offensively, and defensive, they are so aggressive to the football. Southeastern's always been really known for really good safeties over the years. But they've got, you know, the player of the year in our conference at defensive end that's just an unbelievable athlete. So, yeah, look, it's one of those games that you better be prepared for. And I will tell you that I think we've had a great week of practice. I think our guys understand, obviously, the sense of urgency that we have here. But we always feel good in going in every game that we play. It's not like we go in and go, oh, geez, we ain't got a shot here. It's never like that, Jimmy. We feel like we can play with anybody. You know, we just gotta be consistent. You know, when you play good teams, you can't have very many breakdowns. And Southeastern is no different. They're a good football team, and we don't know what the weather's going to hold. But whatever it is, we're going to play. We can't control that. There's only one guy that can do anything about the weather, and that's God. And he's going to do what he wants to do. So we're gonna be prepared for it. You know, we hit a little bit of rain during the week, and we practiced outside on the grass for that purpose, you know, just in case we were going to be playing. But we'll see what happens, but we'll be ready to go.
Of course, the last 2 weeks, we've primarily faced running teams in Ouachita and Hardy. Southeastern, they like to throw the football around, and that's the reason I mentioned the rain, because that may be a factor in today's ball game, but they like to throw it around a lot.
Yeah, you know, and you know, if it is, you know, it is. But look, I've seen a lot of really good throwing football teams continue to throw the ball when it's raining, and I remember growing up, you know, watching my dad's team from Pickle State when they were throwing it 70 times a game, and that didn't matter if it rained or not, you know. So yeah, I think they're going to do what they do. You know, it's something that, from the standpoint of us, you know, we're going to do what we do as well. So, like, I think it'll be a great game, and looking forward to the challenge.
Of course, you look at the secondary that UAM has. They've been tested already this season a couple of times. They'll have a big test today.
They will, and you know, we've got some good players over there, but I think the key is going to be how much pressure we give the quarterback. You know, their quarterback he's not a bad athlete. I think he'd rather stay in the pocket and throw it. And I think if we can get some pressure on him, that's going to give us our best chance. Because I think in the back half of our defense, when our guys are on, we've got a chance. I think we showed that early in the year, but I think it's one of those deals that we're going to have to get some pressure on their quarterback and make him uncomfortable, make him make decisions that he don't like to do. And you know, a couple of teams they played, he's had a lot of time back there to make some throws. Their last game against Oklahoma Baptist, you know, he had 4 or 5 touchdowns, I think, in the first half, and had a lot of time to make throws. So the key is going to be how much pressure we get on him.
Stay tuned. We got final comments coming up here from Coach Jackson when we return after this timeout.
State Representative Jeff Wardlaw is one of the most effective legislators in your state capital. His experience matters for us in South Arkansas. He leads the fight for better health care for rural Arkansans. He is pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, and our proven conservative. We need Jeff's voice speaking up for us in the state capital. When you vote this November, be sure and vote for State Representative Jeff Wardlaw, and let's keep him working for us. Paid for by the Wardlaw for State Representative campaign.
This is 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥 at Commercial Bank. As we enter the Thanksgiving season, we are grateful for a multitude of blessings. Among them, safety and security. For a limited time, we are offering 3 fixed-rate CDs with the safety of FDIC insurance and the security that comes in the form of being served by local bankers you know and trust. Those CDs are 2.2% APY for 22 months, 2.7% APY for 27 months, and 3% APY for 30 months. See Pam or Maria at Commercial Bank. $1,000 minimum opening balance, APY assumes reinvestment of interest, penalty for early withdrawal. Fees could reduce earnings, subject to change, member FDIC. Well, second week in a row to be at home as we're here at 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥 Stadium. We got one more road trip for the regular season, but Coach, you get to play here at home. You had a good crowd last week. Expect a good crowd again here today. And with the team the way they are, they really need the support of the fans today.
Yeah, we do. We always need it, whether we're winning or losing, but we definitely need it. You know, we're on a skid here that is not very comfortable, and our guys understand that, and they really appreciate it when we have a great crowd that comes to the game, and you know, it's not going to be any different for this one. And so we're looking forward to being able to play in front of a home crowd. You know, 2 home games in a row. It seems like it doesn't happen very often. So, you know, this is a big game, and it's a big moment for our program. And we need the support because that makes the world of a difference for us.
You go into the ball game today. How important is a quick start today for the Weevils?
Well, I think it is all the time. You know, we have a tendency to defer to the second half. You know, put our defense out there, you know, a little bit, and you know, honestly, you know, depending on what the weather's going to be, we'll determine how we're going to go about that. But either side of the football can get us out to a good start, you know, and we can't allow them to come out and get ahead too quick and, you know, have a point margin where we're battling back the whole time. You know, we've got to be ready to play, and you know, we've done a good job of that during the year, coming out really early in the game, playing hard. But we got to be consistent. We got to do it for 4 quarters, and that's has always been. It's the reason why we're in the situation we are right here, for having lost the last 4 games. We've got to be consistent. We got to play for 4 quarters. We can't come out, get after for a quarter and a half, and then try to put it in cruise control. We can't do it. So that's going to be the key to this game.
Good luck today. It's UAM and Southeastern coming up for you here in just a few moments. We've got the Great American Conference Rewind coming up, and then we'll be back at 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝥥 Stadium for UAM football. For Coach Hud Jackson, I'm Jimmy Sledge. Stay tuned. More UAM football is next.
I'm Rachel Langley, UAM class of 2019. Why do students choose UAM? For the quality programs and attentive learning environment. Through technical programs in CrossFit and McGee, UAM grads are well prepared for the workforce and find gainful employment quickly. With a bachelor's or master's degree from UAM, you join a proud, worldwide alumni network and are sure to find fellow Weevils in any field. No matter where life takes you, chart a bold course. Start your journey at UAM by visiting uamont.edu for more information.
When elders stay at Bellevue Estates Healthcare Rehabilitation Center in Monticello, our team will provide personal health care to each individual that focuses on the unique needs and circumstances of each elder. We take into consideration the physical, social, and spiritual well-being of each individual. Come by Bellevue Estates at 1052 Old Warren Road in Monticello and see for yourself. Or call 367-0044 for more information.
This is the Week 8 GAC Rewind. I'm Chase Hartsell. East Central is now on a 6-game win streak for the first time since 1984 after its 42-28 win over Southwestern Oklahoma State in the 99th meeting between the 2 teams. With game tied 14-14 in the second quarter, ECU scored 28 straight points to build a 35-14 lead midway through the third quarter. SWOSU added 2 touchdowns to set the 14-point margin, but the Tigers never lost control. Kenny Hernseer threw for 239 yards and 3 touchdowns, including this 88-yard touchdown pass to Jaquan Lincoln on the first play of the drive early in the third quarter. Here's Mike Manos of X Factor Radio with the call.
And they will have it at their own 12-yard line after the punt by Van Winkle. Back to pass. Kenny going long down the middle of the field. Wide open. Link at the 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20 down the sidelines. 10, 5, touchdown Tigers. 88 yards to number 1, and the Tigers blow it open.
Ouachita running back TJ Cole put together his second consecutive game of 200-plus yards rushing. He's had a GAC record with 6 rushing touchdowns. helping number 4 Ouachita move to 8-0 with a 63-31 win over SAU in the Murphy USA Classic in El Dorado, Arkansas. Southern Arkansas held an early 14-7 lead, but the Tigers took control with the ground game and built a 35-17 lead themselves. SAU would cut the Ouachita lead to 11 in the third quarter, but a strong fourth quarter from the Tigers put the game out of reach. Cole's 5th touchdown of the game came early in the fourth quarter and gave Ouachita a 49-31 lead. Here's Rex Nelson on the Ouachita Football Network.
On the direct snap, it will go to the senior All-American, T.J. Cole. Cole calls for the snap, takes it, goes over right tackle, to the 2, Cole to the 1, Cole to the land of milk and honey, touchdown Ouachita with 10:52 left in the fourth quarter.
It was a high-scoring affair in Monticello Saturday as Harding outscored UAM 56-43. The Bison's strong ground game resulted in 4 touchdowns, but it was a 75-yard touchdown pass and a 97-yard fumble return for a score that put separation between the Bisons and the Boll Weevils. Harding led 28-21 at halftime and extended the lead on a 75-yard touchdown from 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗍𝗔 to Cage City with just under 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Clark Griffin then returned to fumble 97 yards for a score 3 minutes later. Here's the call from Billy Morgan on the Harding Sports Network.
And now it's 4th and goal from the 1. Empty backfield from the 1. They're going to go. Snap it to 𝗗𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗗𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. He lost the football. It's scooped up and returned. Picked up at the 3-yard line down the left sideline. And nobody is going to catch Griffin. Midfield to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown Harding. Clark Griffin scooped it up and returns it 95-plus yards. We'll see what the official return on it is, but it's a scoop and score, and the Bisons with a quick turn right there now lead it by 20.
Southeastern racked up 591 yards of total offense and got 5 touchdown passes from quarterback Dalton Hatley in a 62-14 win over Oklahoma Baptist. The Savage Storm led 42-0 at halftime thanks to a 35-point second quarter and eventually built that lead to 55-0. Hatley completed 81% of his passes and threw for 332 yards. Marquise Gray had 125 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns, and DeAndre Wheeler rushed for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns himself. Here's the first of Gray's 3 touchdown receptions from Jay Lindley on the Southeastern Sports Network.
Snap with the right hash on 1st and 10. Play action. Hatley goes right toward Gray, one-on-one, and a diving grab. Is it in? It is. Touchdown, Southeastern. Marquise Gray from 27 yards out. What does he do, Rob?
Catch touchdown, Jade.
Make it back-to-back wins for Southern Nazarene for the first time since 2018 after a 27-21 win over Northwestern Oklahoma State. With the game tied at 21 early in the fourth quarter, Southern Nazarene quarterback Gage Porter rushed for his 3rd touchdown of the day on a 21-yard run with 10:38 left to play. The teams went back and forth the majority of the fourth quarter before Northwestern had a chance to tie and take the lead with a 1st and goal situation. Southern Nazarene forced an incompletion on 4th and goal from the 5 to secure the win. Here's that call from Sean Thurman.
So now 3 wides on the right. He's looking to the right. He throws over the middle, and it's broken up. It was in the hands of Torrance Stevens. They had the look that they wanted, but the SNU secondary steps up and breaks up the pass and will take over with 1:45 left to play.
Henderson State moved to 6-2 with a 35-19 win over Arkansas Tech in the 98th meeting between the teams, thanks to a strong third quarter and the quarterback-receiver connection of Andrew Edwards and Xavier Malone. The Reddies led 21-13 at halftime before Edwards and Malone connected twice in the third quarter to stretch the Reddy lead to 35-13. Edwards passed for 302 yards on the day, 207 of which went to Malone. The second scoring strike between Edwards and Malone, an 80-yard pass on the first play of the drive, provided the last score of the day for the Reddies. Here's Blake Smith with that call on the Ready Sports Network. This week in the GAC, we have one Thursday night game as East Central travels to Ouachita for a 6 p.m. kickoff. On Saturday, there will be 4 games kicking off at 2 p.m., including Southern Arkansas at Oklahoma Baptist, Southwestern Oklahoma State at Arkansas Tech, Southeastern Oklahoma State at Arkansas Monticello, and Henderson State at Southern Nazarene. Harding hosts Northwestern Oklahoma State in the only 3 p.m. kickoff of the day. This has been the Week 8 GAC Rewind. I'm 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥.
𝗗𝗜𝗦 Associates, 201 South Main in Monticello, has a full range of accounting services. From the smallest business to large corporations and even personal accounts, 𝗗𝗜𝗦 Associates can provide the services you need. Whether it's yearly bookkeeping, payroll, or filing taxes, they can do it with competent services from a highly qualified staff. Give 𝗗𝗜𝗦 Associates a call at 870-367-3580 or stop by their office at 201 South Main in Monticello.
Drew Memorial Health System in Monticello is proud to offer rehabilitation services for patients of all ages. The Drew Rehab Team provides physical, speech, and occupational therapy on an inpatient or outpatient basis and at home. The experienced staff treats pediatric patients, student athletes, and adults recovering from injuries, stroke, or surgical procedures. The staff will keep you on track throughout your recovery process. Let the Drew Rehab Team help you maximize your functional potential. Close to home. Choose Drew Memorial.
I'm Rex Nelson. As a native Arkansan, I take pride in our state's natural beauty. And as someone who has been in all 75 counties, I've seen how prevalent litter is across our state. It's time for people to clean up our state for those who live here and to enhance Arkansas's image for those wanting to visit. Let's clean up Arkansas. Visit KeepArkansasBeautiful.com to do your part and get involved.
This message brought to you by this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission.
Are you ready to take care of business? So are we. You want to make your goals a reality, right? So do we. You care about the community, right? Well, so do we. Citizens Bank in Monticello wants to be your hometown choice for checking, savings, loans, and any banking needs. We care about you and the community. At Citizens Bank, it's people first. Citizens Bank, Highway 425 North in Monticello. Call 367-1935. Citizens Bank, member FDIC.
93.7 FM, all hits, all the time.
And a good afternoon to you from Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium. Good afternoon, I'm Jimmy Sledge as we get set for another Great American Conference matchup here this afternoon between the Weevils of UAM and the Savage Storm.
Arkansas State Parks are your passport to explore everything the natural state offers, from our storied past to our scenic beauty. With unexpected escapes like Jacksonport State Park, you can get a unique look at our state's history. Each one of our 52 state parks offers something just a little bit different. So pick up your passport at any state park visitor center. Plan your trip at ArkansasStateParks.com.
Brought to you by this station and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
Hello, this is Kerry Hartness with Union Bank and Trust. Are you looking to get a loan for a car, truck, ATV, camper, tractor, or boat? If so, I can help you with fast closing times, competitive rates, and service after the loan that can't be beat. For over 135 years, Union Bank has helped the people of Monticello and Southeast Arkansas with their lending and banking needs. So stop by my office or call me at 870-460-6400 and let me show you how easy the lending process can be. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC, financing with approved credit.
And a good afternoon to you. Welcome back to Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium here on KHPM 93.7 FM. I'm Jimmy Sledge. We're set for another Great American Conference matchup.
Maxwell Hardwood Flooring in Monticello is a proud sponsor of this athletic event. Building a strong team takes commitment and hard work, and Maxwell Hardwood Flooring understands the concept of teamwork. Whether it's building the finest hardwood flooring in the nation or having a winning team, it takes teamwork and dedication to get the job done. Be a part of a winning team by following your favorite team and joining your friends at Maxwell Hardwood Flooring and wishing them the best. Re-elect Representative Jeff Wardlaw. Jeff Wardlaw is 100% pro-life, a strong defender of our gun rights, a true common-sense conservative. Re-elect Representative Jeff Wardlaw. Let's keep him defending our rights at the Arkansas State Capitol. Vote on Tuesday, November 8th. Paid for by the Wardlaw Campaign.
This is Todd Smith at Commercial Bank. Locally owned and operated businesses keep our community strong. Local individuals who live where they work creates what we call a love where you live mentality. At Commercial Bank, we are the community builder. Not because we say we are, but because for generations we have served the financial needs of our community while being a catalyst in serving the area's civic and social needs. If you do business with Commercial Bank, thank you. If you don't, we'd love a chance to earn your business. Come see us today at Commercial Bank and find out why we say we have roots where others have branches.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Okay, you here?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
And a very pleasant good afternoon. Welcome back to UAM football here on KHBM 93.7 FM. I'm Jimmy Sledge. We'll get set for another Great American Conference matchup here this afternoon as the Weevils get set to take on Southeastern Oklahoma State in the Great American Conference as Southeastern coming in on a 3-game winning streak, and they will be set to take on the Weevils, who are on a 4-game losing streak. The Weevils need to upright the ship here this afternoon and be able to get back on the winning track for this afternoon's ball game. As you know, it's been a rainy day in Southeast Arkansas. We talked about that on the Coaches Show with Coach Jackson. Of course, we taped our show yesterday, and we didn't know what the weather would hold, but it looks like the rain has ended. It has been a very wet morning. The field is wet. There is some water standing on puddles on the sidelines and over where the teams play or in the team area. But we'll see if that becomes a factor in this afternoon's ball game as we get set for this Great American Conference matchup. Again, the Weevils looking to right the ship after a 4-game skid and needing a win here this afternoon. You look at Southeastern Oklahoma, they come in at 5-3 on the season. The Weevils come in at 3-5. And as we said, Southeastern has been scoring a lot of points in the last 3 ball games. They've scored over 140 points in the last 3 ball games. Offensively, they will throw it around. We expect them to do that again here this afternoon as the captains are out on the field and get set to make their way to the field, to the center of the field for the coin toss. We welcome you to our broadcast here on KHBM 93.7 FM, your home of UAM Sports. We'll take a break and we'll come back with more UAM football in just a moment.
Which is today's game day sponsor. They're joined by Assistant Athletic Director for External Affairs, Gary Pace, and UAM Chancellor Dr. Bites.
Again, we welcome you back here to Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium. The Boll Weevils have won the toss here this afternoon. They have elected to receive, so we'll see Edwin 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟 get his actual first start of the 2022 season here this afternoon as he's filling in for the injured 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗠𝗠𝗠𝗠, the starting quarterback for the Boll Weevils all season long. 𝗗𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗠𝗠𝗠, as Coach Jackson and I talked about, he has a cannon for an arm. He can run the football. You know, he's listed as a big guy, 260 pounds, 6'1", but he is mobile, so we'll see what he can do. We've got a great crowd on hand this afternoon for the ball game. Glad you're with us here on KHPM 93.7 FM, your home of UAM Sports. I'm Jimmy Sledge. We get set for today's ball game here this afternoon as Southeastern will get set to kick it off, and it's going to be Jackson Naily will kick it off. Back deep for the Boll Weevils. Looks like it's going to be Caleb's going to be on one side and Manuel on the other side. This one's going to carry into the end zone for an automatic touchback, and the Boll Weevils will start 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line for their first possession of the afternoon. Cloudy. Rain has subsided that moved through South Arkansas this morning. Field is going to be wet, but we'll see how things work out. As the Weevils come to the field, Edwin 𝗗𝗗𝗦𝗠𝗠𝗠𝗠, your quarterback. And it looks like Manuel will start out at the running back. Check that and make sure if it's not Jonathan Scott. Handoff's going to go right up the middle for no gain as they'll get it back out to the 25-yard line. That's Manuel on the carry for the Boll Weevils. So no gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now for the Boll Weevils here this afternoon. Actually, give them about a half-a-yard gain. And the Weevils will be looking at 2nd down. We'll call it 2nd and 9. 𝗗𝗗𝗦𝗠𝗠𝗠𝗠 looks into the sideline, calls a play. Twin receivers go wide left. One comes wide right. Southeastern with a 3-man front defensively. 𝗗𝗗𝗦𝗠𝗠𝗠𝗠𝗠 takes the snap, wanting to throw, going down the field, looking for 𝗗𝗏 Smith. Going to be overthrown down at the 30-yard line. As 𝗗𝗏 had broken away, he was clear of the defender. The ball just carried too far. So it'll bring up 3rd down and a long 9 here, the opening possession of the ball game for the Boll Weevils. Just underway, 14:22 to play in the opening quarter. On 3rd and 9. They'll rush 3. 𝗗𝗗𝗦𝗠𝗠𝗠𝗠𝗠 wanting to throw, forced out of the pocket, running to his right. He's going to take off. He's out over the 30. He'll get it out close to the 37-yard line. Going to be short of the 1st down as Edwin 𝗗𝗗𝗦𝗠𝗠𝗠𝗠𝗠 had no one to throw to. Everybody was covered down the field. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 1 now for the Boll Weevils. So a 4th and 1, decision time. Weevils going to punt it away here in the first quarter. Coming on to punt will be Zachary Grasati, handles the kicking duties for the Weevils. And Southeast will send 1 man back deep. He'll be standing at his own 25-yard line. Good snap. High, wobbly kick. This one goes toward the sideline. Going to hit and go out of bounds at the 30, inside the 30. They'll mark it up at the 27-yard line. That's where the Savage Storm will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. Here with 13:28 left to play in the opening quarter. We have no score. It'll be Southeastern's first possession of the afternoon. Again, this Savage Storm team has scored 60 points last week, 40 points the week before, and 34 points the week before that. So almost 140 points in 3 games on a 3-game winning streak coming into today's ball game. Next week, the Boll Weevils on the road. They travel to East Central. East Central's on a 6-game winning streak. They're playing today as well. But we'll travel over there next Saturday for a 2 o'clock kickoff. And then come back here for the final game of the regular season on November the 11th. This will be against Southern Arkansas. Glad you're with us on this Saturday afternoon. Cloudy skies. Game time temperature around 63 degrees. The UAM faithful has shown up even on this wet afternoon. The quarterback for Southeastern Oklahoma, Dalton Haitley, a senior out of Clovis, New Mexico. He'll call the signals. They work out of the shotgun. Twin receivers go wide right, and again, they do like to throw it around. Hatley, straight drop on first down, throws a screen pass over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. Intended out there for DeAndre Wheeler. Just went right through his fingertips. It'll bring up a second down and 10 for the Savage Storm from their own 27-yard line. They'll stay in the shotgun, stay in the spread with 4 wide, 2 on either side. Savage Storm moving from right to left on your radio dial, from south to north here at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium. Hatley, play action again, wanting to throw, looking, trying down the field. It's going to be picked off. Intercepted at the 42-yard line, and coming up with the interception is going to be Greg Hooks, the sophomore. Comes up with the interception for the Boll Weevils from Osceola, Arkansas, and the Weevils will have it 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line of Southeastern Oklahoma. First and 10 Weevils from the 43 of Southeastern. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥, your quarterback. Dorian Manuel, the running back. Going to hand it off to Dorian. Dorian left side, big hole across the 40. He'll get it down close to the 36-yard line. Give me a gain of about 7 on the play and bring up a second down and 3. Big hole that time for Dorian Manuel to run through. Weevils with a no huddle, hurry up offense. They'll go straight to the line. Weevils call the play in from the sideline. On 2nd and 3. Handoff again. Manuel, same play. He's got the first down and more. Dorian inside the 30 to the 25. Cuts and slips down at the 24-yard line. We'll move the change, and that'll be a first down for the Boll Weevils here this afternoon. First down of the ball game by either team with 12:34 left to play. Opening quarter, no score. Weevils now knocking on the door. 1st and 10 at the 24 of Southeastern. Mish in at tight end. He'll line up on the right side. Handoff again to Manuel. Cuts it back against the grain. Dorian will carry it down close to the 21-yard line. So a gain of 3 on that play. Hayden Thomas will check in at running back. Dorian Manuel will come out. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Boll Weevils now at their own, or at the 21-yard line of the Savage Storm. The Cedric Smith comes wide to the right. Mansfield splits wide left, wanting to throw, looking, going from Mansfield on the left side. Going to be incomplete. Down at the 5-yard line. So we're going to 3rd down and 7 now for the Boll Weevils. And UAM's going to spread the field. The 2 tight ends will come out of the ball game. Joshua Denny and Ian Mesh come out of the ball game. As Caleb Jacobs checks in a wide receiver, he and LaCedric Smith come wide to the right. Isaiah Cross goes wide to the left with Mansfield on 3rd and 7. Handoff straight up the middle. Over the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Boll Weevils. Hayden Thomas from 21 yards out, and the Boll Weevils are up 6-0 here with 11:40 to play in the opening quarter. With the extra point attempt coming. "21-yard scamper by Hayden Thomas puts the Weevils on the board as they take advantage of the turnover by Southeastern and get the 6 points. And now the Weevils are going to call a timeout before the extra point. Didn't have the right personnel out there on the extra point attempt. Coach Jackson's going to huddle up there with his crew there on the sideline, and we'll regroup. as the Weevils lead at 6-0 with the extra point attempt coming. 11:40 left to play in the opening quarter. And Weevils trying to make sure they didn't want to get anybody, want to make sure they had the right personnel out there on the field for the extra point. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥 will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Caleb Jacobs. They'll spot it down. Everybody gets set. 11:40 left to play in the opening quarter. Weevils up 6-0. The extra point attempt. The snap is down. The kick is on its way, and it's through the uprights and good. Weevils lead at 7-0 here in the early going. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more UAM football right after this timeout.
This month, UAM Athletics has depicted their logo that you see at midfield at the 50-yard line in pink to showcase the importance of breast cancer awareness.
The Weevils go on top, 6-7-0 as Thomas Hayden, a 21-yard run for the Weevils, capped off a 43-yard scoring drive following the interception by Southeastern, and that's the way the Weevils want to start the things off this afternoon as they'll get set to kick it off once again. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥 will tee it up. Weevils set to kick it off into the south end zone. Southeastern with a couple of players back deep, standing at their own 20. Awaiting the kick of 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗍. He'll kick this one, a high, short kick. Going to be fielded up at the 20-yard line and returned up to the 25, the 30. Up over the 35, going to be upended and brought down there, and making the stop for the Boll Weevils on the special teams, hustling down the field. Amari Sibley, freshman out of Zachary, Louisiana. The Savage Storm will start their second possession of the afternoon, 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. With 11:34 to play here in the opening quarter, Weevils leading 7-0. Again, your quarterback is Dalton Hatley for Southeastern. The running back, DeAndre Wheeler. He'll line up in the pistol formation behind Hatley. Twin receivers go to either side again. Savage Storm moving from right to left here in the first quarter. Hatley, straight drop, wanting to throw. Looking, going to be in trouble and going to be sacked. Shooting through and coming untouched for the Weevils to make the sack over there is going to be Liam Brace, freshman out of Dallas, Texas. That'll be a loss all the way back to the 25-yard line. So a loss of 10 on the play, 2nd down and 20. Now for the Savage Storm, Coach Jackson talked about getting pressure on their quarterback, and that time the Weevils were able to do it. So on 2nd down and 20, empty backfield and 5 wide. Now they'll put the running back in the backfield. Going to hand it off. He's going to be hit in the backfield. Breaks the tackle out over the 20. The 25 going to be run out of bounds up near the 30-yard line. On the carry that time was Garcia Smith. And coming up to make the play for the Boll Weevils defensively is going to be Bryson LeBlanc. So a gain of 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 for the Savage Storm. from their own 30-yard line. A third down play here on the second possession for Southeastern. Weevils leading 7-0. Hatley, there's a wide receiver in motion to the short side of the field. They go with trips here on the left side, and now a timeout called by Southeastern. With 10:20 to play in the first quarter, a timeout on the field, 7-0. Weevils lead it. We're back in just a moment.
Today's game day sponsor is 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥. When it comes to healthcare, you have a choice. So do we. At 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥, we choose to serve Southeastern. With fully equipped hospital, departments, and clinics to meet all of your medicine needs. Right here in Monticello, when you choose local care, you choose 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥. Innovation, investment, because we choose you, 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥. Choose well, and thank you for your continued support of UAM Athletics.
Third down and 15 for the Savage Storm. Hatley wanted to throw, nowhere to go. Now looking right, looking left, throws it. It's going to be incomplete up near the 35-yard line. And the Weevil defense is forced to 3 and out. It'll be 4th down and 15 for the Savage Storm as UAM will get the football back. Here with 10:14 to play, Dorian Manuel is going to go back to return the punt. As their punter will come on. Jackson Nally. Weevil's going to put 10 up on the line. Gets the punt off, a high short kick. It's going to hit at the 40, go toward the sideline and go out of bounds inside the 40 up at the 39. They'll mark it out at the 40-yard line. The Weevils will have it 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Here for the third possession of the afternoon. Weevils forced the turnover on the first possession. Were able to score after the interception. Now force the Savage Storm to a 3 and out. Weevils back out there on offense. Isaiah Cross and Mansfield split wide to the left. 𝗗𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗍𝒄 Smith wide right. Handoff going to be up the middle. Dorian Manuel, he's got nowhere to go, and he's going to lose a yard. As they'll stop him back at the 39-yard line. Coming through for Southeastern is going to be Malik Hall, 6'2", 235-pound senior out of Athens, Texas, makes the stop for the Savage Storm. 2nd and 11 now for the Boll Weevils. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗍𝒑 calling for it, wanting to throw, looking, going deep down the right sideline for 𝗗𝗟𝗔𝗍𝒑 Smith, going to overthrow him. Man-to-man coverage out there. 𝗗𝗟𝗔𝗑 down the sideline on a fly pattern, and 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗓 just let him too much. Throws it out of bounds. It'll bring up 3rd down and 11. Now for UAM. 9:35 to play, opening quarter. Weevils lead it 7-0. Weevils go 4 wide. Storm going to rush 4. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗓 steps up, has a man, is complete over the midfield to the 48-yard line of the Savage Storm. Making the catch is Isaiah Cross for the Boll Weevils, and he'll step out of bounds down at the 47-yard line of Southeastern. So move the chains. It'll be a 1st down for the Boll Weevils. UAM will have it 1st and 10 at the 47 of the Savage Storm. Got a new quarterback in. Now it's going to be Hunter Watson. Watson takes a direct snap. He was going to keep it, but a flag comes in before the play is snapped. Going to have a offsides against the Boll Weevils, a false start. So we'll start behind the chains, behind the sticks. It'll be 1st and 15 for UAM. They'll spot it back at their own 48-yard line. Still remain 1st down. Watson again stays in at quarterback. Got Ian Meesh at the tight end here on the near side, left side. Over there is going to be Caleb Bonin as a tight end. 2 tight ends, 2 wide outs. Watson, direct snap, takes it, keeps it himself. He'll get it across midfield, or right at midfield. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play. So 2nd down and 13. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟 will check back into the ballgame at quarterback. Watson will come out. Hunter Watson plays wide receiver, and he's a freshman out of Salina, Texas. He'll come out of the ball game. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟 back in along with Manuel. Dorian, lone setback. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟 wanting to throw. Fires into the flat. Going to be complete to 𝗗𝗑cedric Smith. It'll be a short game down to about the 45-yard line. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and long. A 3rd down. They'll mark it just inside the 45. So 3rd down and 7 for UAM. From the Savage Storm, 44-yard line. Twins to the right, twins to the left. Ball on the right hash mark. Weevils moving from left to right here in this first quarter. They check off the play from the sideline. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟 calling for the snap. Going to leave it with Manuel. Manuel, a big hole. Manuel looked like he had a lot of room. He's going to be hitting a great open field tackle over there by Southeastern's Tevon Williams. Coming up to make the stop. Down at the 43-yard line, so only a gain of 1 on the play. And the Weevils will look at 4th down and 6. And we'll send the punting unit on. Weevils lead at 7-0 here with 7:15 to play in the first quarter. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟's on to punt it, gets a good snap. A high, wobbly kick toward the sideline. This one's going to carry out of bounds. Southeastern's going to get pretty good field position. We'll see where they end up marking the football. It's going to be marked up outside the 30. Up to the 35, all the way to the 36-yard line, and that's where the Savage Storm will have it for the 3rd time this afternoon here in the first quarter, their 3rd possession. Weevils forced a turnover on the first one, were able to score, forced them to a 3-and-out on their 2nd possession. So this will be the 3rd possession for Southeastern. They'll spread the field with 4 receivers, trips to the near side, ball on the right hash mark. Trips to the left, 1 receiver wide to the right. Hatley, your quarterback, out of the shotgun. Weevils showing a 5-man front defensively. Hatley gonna hand it off to his tailback. He'll carry it up for about a yard gain, and that's gonna be all. Is making the carry is gonna be Andre Wheeler. Wheeler didn't have a whole lot of room. A gain of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 now for the Savage Storm. Ball spotted at their own 36-yard line. 2nd down and 9. Hatley again. They go in the spread. Stays in the shotgun. Hatley. Handoff again. Right side. Got some room over the 40, the 45, the 1st down and more as he gets out near midfield to the 49-yard line. And that's DeAndre Wheeler on the carry. He rushes right up the middle. That'll move the chains. It'll be the first down of the afternoon for the Savage Storm. That comes with 6:07 to play here in the opening quarter. Weevils leading 7-0. So stay in the spread on 1st down from their own 49-yard line. Hatley out of the shotgun. Looks over the defense. Weevils going to hand it off again to Wheeler. Wheeler carries straight ahead across midfield down to the Weevil 45-yard line. A gain of 6 on the play. Getting up off the bottom of the pile for the Weevils. Going to be one of the defensive backs coming up to make the stop. It's number 35, and that is Bryce LeBlanc. A gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. Now at the Weevil 45-yard line. No huddle offense forcing the Savage Storm as they'll call the play at the line of scrimmage. Hatley calling for the snap. Handoff again to Wheeler. Wheeler reverses his field. He's hit at the 47. Going to be driven backwards. And going to bring up a 3rd down and about a yard for the Savage Storm. It's coming up to make the stop. Leading tackler on the field for the Weevils or on the team is Katron Allen. Katron, a difference maker there on this UAM defense. 3rd and 1 now for the Savage Storm. From the Weevil 42-yard line. The UAM hopeful comes to their feet. Hoping for a 3rd down stop here. Halley with Wheeler in the backfield. They go with the bunch set to the right. Tight ends to the right. 2 tight ends. Hand it off Wheeler. He'll run it straight ahead. He's going to get the 1st down as he'll carry it inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line before the Weevils can bring him down. Coming up to make the stop is Charles Cameron for the Bo Weevils. But they'll move the chains and keep the drive alive. Weevils lead at 7-0 here with 4:02 left to play in the opening quarter. 1st and 10 for the Savage Storm at the Weevil 38-yard line. Twin receivers go wide right. Hatley wanting to throw, going deep down the right sideline, throws it up in the air. It's going to be caught at the 5 down to the 4-yard line. Making the catch over there is going to be Marquise Gray. That's kind of a circus catch that Gray makes as he makes the catch. They'll mark it at the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal to go for the Savage Storm. Wheeler will check back in at running back. Weevils put their goal line defense in. 1st and goal to go from the 5. The Savage Storm will come to the line. The 2 tight end set to the short side of the field. Ball on the right hash mark. Hatley takes the snap, leaves it with Wheeler. Wheeler right side, goes into the end zone for the touchdown. From 5 yards out, DeAndre Wheeler will push it in, and they're an extra point away from tying the ball game here this afternoon with 3:05 remaining in the 1st quarter. And the extra point coming as Trey Keats will handle the extra point duties for the Savage Storm. Everybody's set. The snap is down. The kick's on its way, and this one is through the uprights and is good. We've got a tie ball game at 7-7. Weevils and the Savage Storm all knotted up here with 3:05 to play in the opening quarter. We're back with more UAM football in just a moment. Southeastern will kick it off. It's fielded by Dorian Manuel at the 8. He'll return it over the 15, out to the 20 to the 25-yard line. That's where the Weevils will start 1st and 10 with 3 minutes left to play in the opening quarter. 7-7 our score. We're all tied. Edwin Kleinpeter, your quarterback for the Bo Weevils. He's a junior out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the backup quarterback. Coming in, playing this week for the injured 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗍𝗔 Brown. Handoff goes left side to Thomas. Hayden Thomas not going to get it back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of 1. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11 now for the Weevils. Ian Meesh at the tight end spot. Cedric Smith over here in man-to-man coverage. Kleinpeter looking, going for Smith down the middle of the field and overthrows him. Oh boy, Kleinpeter had Cedric Smith open on a post pattern down about midfield, but he just overthrew everybody. So we'll bring up 3rd down and 11. Now for the Bo Weevils. Ball spotted back at their own 24-yard line. Make it the 25-yard line. 3rd down and 11. Need to get out to the 36 for the first down. On 3rd and long, they'll rush 3. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥 Straight drop. Now 𝗗𝗗𝗜𝗧𝗧𝗏 going to take off. Now pulls it back down. He's going to throw it out in the flat. Going to be incomplete. Looked like 𝗗𝗗𝗜𝗧𝗏 was going to take off running. He decided to turn around, did a 360, and trying to get it over here to Mansfield in the flat. And the Weevils are going to go 3 and out. So Southeastern's defense rises to the occasion. We're all tied 7-7 with 2:21 to play here in the opening quarter. 𝗗𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗏 will come on to punt it away. Going back deep for the Savage Storm is Braxton Kincaid. He'll stand at his own 35 awaiting the punt. This block is going to be blocked. The kick is blocked. The pick is up, and it's going to go in for a score. Southeastern blocks the punt. Coming up with the loose football is Trayvon Williams for Southeastern, and they'll go in for the score. The punt was blocked. And then Southeastern scoops it and scores. Man, oh man, 13-7. Southeastern takes their first lead of the afternoon with the extra point coming. Trey Keats on to attempt the extra point to give them a 7-point lead. Everybody's set. Snap is down. The kick is on its way, and it is good. 14-7. Southeastern takes their first lead of the afternoon with 2:15 left to play here in the opening quarter. We're back after this timeout.
I'll take this opportunity to recognize some of our UAM Athletics sponsors. Clark Contractors, Union Bank, Drew County Farm Bureau, Ryder, Paradigm Fitness, Dairy Queen, and Domino's Pizza. We thank you for your continued support of UAM Athletics.
The block punt results in a touchdown for Southeastern. They lead at 14-7. They'll kick it off. Caleb Jacobs will field it at the 10, return it over to the 15, out to the 20-yard line, and that's where the Weevils will start this possession. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line here with 2:11 left to play in the first quarter. UAM now playing from behind, going to have to come up with some offense. They went 3 and out there last time. Manuel stays in at the running back. 𝗗𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏, your quarterback. Twin receivers go to either side. Isaiah Cross, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Smith come wide right. Caleb Jacobs and Mansfield go wide left. 𝗗𝗏𝗏𝗏 throws complete for a short gain out to the 26-yard line. It's going to be out to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Smith. As that'll be a gain of 5 on the play. And bring up 2nd down and 5 now for the Boll Weevils. Glad you're with us on this Saturday afternoon here in Southeast Arkansas. 𝗗𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 calling for it on 2nd down and 5. Hands it off to Manuel. He picks a hole, runs through it. Going to get it out to the 28, almost to the 29. Going to be short of the first down by a couple of yards. As Dorian Manuel waited on the hole to open up and found a little running room. It'll come up short. 3rd down and 2. Weevils go big as Ian Mesh checks into the ballgame at tight end. Joshua Denny at the other tight end. On 3rd down and 2, handoff to Manuel. Dorian trying to get to the edge. They've got it covered up pretty well. He's going to lose a couple of yards. As Dorian had nowhere to go, the Savage Storm coming up to make the stop is going to be Josh Malumba. Senior out of Coppell, Texas, making the stop for the Savage Storm. It'll be 4th down and 3. The Weevils going to go 3 and out again. Final seconds of the first quarter. 14-7. Savage Storm with the lead. Weevils going to have to punt it away again. Kincaid goes back deep for the Savage Storm. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗍 will stand at his own 13-yard line. Gets a good snap. Last punt was blocked. He gets this one off. Low wobbly kick. He's going to hit at the 40. Take a short UAM bounce inside the 40 to the 38-yard line of Southeastern. And that's where the Savage Storm will have it 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. As they lead at 14-7, both teams offensive have scored. And then a blocked punt. Return for a touchdown for the Savage Storm gives them a 14-7 lead. They'll mark it back at the 37, so it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Hatley, the quarterback, will come on, directing traffic. He's a senior out of Clovis, New Mexico. He'll go over the empty backfield and 5 wide to start this possession on 1st down. Hatley looks right, throws back left. Tunnel screen underneath, complete out over the 40, out to the 45-yard line. Making the catch out there is going to be Marquise Gray. They'll mark it up at the 44. Say his knee went down there. A gain of 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Savage Storm. And we've got an official timeout. Nope, that's the end of the first quarter. First 15 minutes are in the books. Savage Storm lead at 14-7 over our UAM Boll Weevils. We'll be back with more from Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium right after this timeout. As we start the second quarter, Southeastern will hand it off over the right side. A new running back in the ball game for them. That's going to be Jason 𝗗𝗓𝗏. 𝗗𝗏 is going to be dropped for a loss back at the 41-yard line. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for Southeastern as they lead it 14-7. Just underway to start the second quarter. Twin receivers go wide left, tight end to the left side, the wide side of the field. Hatley out of the shotgun. Weevils are going to rush 4. They'll bring the blitz as well. Hatley hit as he unloads it down the field. It's going to be incomplete. Flags come in. We're going to have pass interference against the defense. And a couple of players shaken up. One for Southeastern, one for the UAM Boll Weevils. There was a mid-collision down there, and they going to call the flags come in. Going to call the interference against the Weevils. So it'll result in a 1st down for Southeastern when play resumes after they go out and tend to the injured players out there on the field. Just underway to start the second quarter. 14 minutes, 10 seconds left to play here in the first half. It's 14-7. Southeastern has the lead. Both offenses have scored here in the first quarter. And then Southeastern blocked a punt by UAM and returned it for a scoop and score to take this 14-7 lead that we have right now. And they're looking at the injured players down on the field. Crowd has been slow to come in, but we've got a packed house here on the UAM side. Good to see all the UAM Weevil faithful out to watch the ball game here this afternoon as they've come in, waiting to see if the rain was going to hold off, which has quit for the day, it looks like. According to the radar, there shouldn't be any more rain this afternoon. And again, they're still looking at the two injured players, one for Southeastern, one for UAM. I don't have a number yet. One was the intended receiver, one was the defensive safety for the Weevils. They're going to get the UAM player up. That's going to be 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥 that was shaken up on the play. He's a tough individual, and they got to check him out. He's going to walk off the field under his own power. Now the receiver for Southeastern gets up, and he's okay. That's 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥. So both players walk off the field under their own power. Hopefully we'll see them both back out on the field here in just a little bit. The penalty, though, resulted in a first down for the Savage Storm. They'll mark it all the way down at the Weevil 44. 1st and 10 for the Savage Storm. Hatley, the quarterback. The running back now is Jason Nagwa, redshirt freshman out of North Lake, Texas. Twin receivers go wide left. They go with a tight end to that side as well. Ball on the right hash mark for Southeastern as they move left to right on the radio tower. Handoff up to Nawagwa. Nawagwa carries out inside the 40 down to the Weevil 38-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the play and bring up a 2nd down and 4. So 2nd and 4 for Southeastern at the Weevil 38-yard line. They'll stay with the same formation. Twin receivers wide left. This time they shift the tight end to the right side, the short side of the field. On 2nd and 4, now shift the tight end as a blocking back, a fullback, handed off to Wagwa. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, and he's going nowhere. No gain on the play as the Weevils swarm him. And there's who just changed back into the ballgame, 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗍𝗠 coming up from his safety spot in on the stop for the Weevils. So a 3rd down and a long 4 now for Southeastern. DeAndre Wheeler will check back in at running back. On 3rd and 4. Southeastern leading 14-7, just under 13 minutes left to play in the first half. Hatley directing traffic, calling the play, wants it now straight drop back, one to throw, fires over the middle, is going to be caught inside the 35. He'll run backwards, and he's not going to have enough for the first down. He'll have it at the 35-yard line, needed to get to the 34. It'll bring up a 4th down and 1 for Southeastern. Decision time for the coaching staff for Southeastern. They're too close to punt it and too far to try the field goal. Weevils are going to send in a different offense or a different defensive front 4. On 4th and 1, Southeastern is going to go for it from the Weevil 35-yard line. As they break the huddle, come to the line of scrimmage. They go with a fullback, a tailback. Hatley goes underneath center. Out of the eye, hands it off. Play action, rolling right, looking wide open at the 20, to the 15, the 10, the 5, the tight end, touchdown, Southeastern Oklahoma. Making the catch is Matthew Nunez. And the Weevils committed to the run, forgot about the pass to the tight end. And Southeastern has opened up a 2-score lead. They lead at 20-7 at the moment with the extra point coming. 11:47 to play here in the first half. Riley Russell does the holding. Their kicker is Trey Keats. 2 for 2 on the afternoon. See what he can do here. He'll kick into the south end zone. Snap is down. The kick is on its way, and it is good. A flag comes in at the end of the play. We're going to have a roughing the kicker call against the Boll Weevils, a personal foul. Southeastern can let it stand. The play will be good. It'll be 21-7 if they let the play stand.
Personal foul. Roughing the kickoff against Monticello. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
They'll assess the penalty on the kickoff against the Boll Weevils. It'll remain 21-7, our score. Southeastern has extended their lead with 11:47 left to play here in the first half. We'll take a break and be back with more UAM football right after this timeout. (21-7), Southeastern has extended their lead by 2 scores. 11:47 to play here in the first half. As they'll mark the penalty off, and Southeastern is going to kick it off from midfield. As they'll get set to kick it away. Clouds still hanging around this afternoon here at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium. The rain quit about 1 o'clock. Maybe a little earlier here in southeast Arkansas. The field is kind of wet and soggy as we had a good wet soaking rain, which we definitely needed across the area. We're not going to complain about the rain that we had today. Southeastern will kick it off. This one's going to carry into the end zone. Emmanuel's going to wave it off, and they'll go into the end zone for the automatic touchback. And the Weevils will start 1st and 10 from their own 25. But they need to get some offense going here as they trail by 2 scores, 21-7. 11:47 to play here in the first half. Edwin Kleinpeter, your quarterback. Hayden Thomas going to check in at running back this series. He's a sophomore out of Kinder, Louisiana. He'll line up in the pistol formation behind Kleinpeter. Twin receivers come wide left. As Kleinpeter wanting to throw, going deep down the field, going to overthrow his intended receiver, Isaiah Cross. Kleinpeter doesn't know the strength of his own arm. He's overthrown everybody on the deep route so far this afternoon. Maybe the adrenaline from getting his first start here this season. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Kleinpeter this time going to hand it off to Thomas. Thomas straight ahead will carry it out over the 25, out close to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 on the play for Hayden Thomas. And bring up a 3rd down and 5 for the Boll Weevils. Ian Mesh checks in at the tight end spot. On 3rd and 5, Weevils need a 1st down here. 11:14 to play in the half, trailing 21-7. Kleinpeter calling for the snap. Straight drop back, wanting to throw, looking, fires over the middle, complete to Cedric Smith on a crossing route, out over the 40, midfield, the 45, and runs out of bounds down at the 48-yard line of Southeastern, make it the 43-yard line of Southeastern. Cedric on a crossing route coming across the middle. Big gain that'll move the chains, keep the drive alive for the Weevils. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Kleinpeter calling for the snap. Hands it off to Thomas. Hayden hitting the backfield. Going to be dropped for a loss. Coming through for Southeastern is going to be Javion Gardner. He's 6'3", 265, a senior out of Pensacola, Florida. And he'll drop Hayden Thomas for a 2-yard loss back at the 45-yard line. Bring up a 2nd down and 12 for UAM. And now they've got an official timeout on the field. I believe one of the players for Southeastern has some equipment trouble. They're going to get everything set. It'll be 2nd down and 12 for the Boll Weevils. The penalty called against Southeastern. So they mark off the penalty against Southeastern, mark it inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line, an offside penalty on the play. Make it 1st and 5 for UAM from the Savage Storm 38. Handoff again to Thomas. Thomas over the left side. He's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Thomas finding the running hard here on this left side. It'll remain 2nd down and 5 now for the Boll Weevils. As UAM will spread the field, send in an extra wide receiver, Caleb Jacobs. And Mansfield come wide to the left, Cross and Smith go wide right on 2nd and 5. Hand it off, Thomas. Thomas cuts back against the grain, going to get a yard, and that's all, down to the 43-yard line. Make it down to the 42-yard line, a gain of 1. It'll bring up a 3rd and 4 now for the Boll Weevils with 9:25 left to play in the first half. Weevils trailing the Savage Storm 21-7. Edwin Kleinpeter, your quarterback. Twin receivers go to either side. The Storm stays in a 4-man front defensively. On 3rd and 4, Kleinpeter wanting to throw. Pressure coming. Throws it deep down the field. Overthrows Isaiah Cross down at the 10-yard line. So it'll bring up a 4th down and 4. Now the Weevils in a decision time here, trailing by 2 scores. Looking at 4th down and 4 from the Savage Storm. 38-yard line. Oh, they're going to go for it. From the 37, make it. And now a timeout called by the Savage Storm. 9 minutes remaining first half. 21-7 our score. Savage Storm lead it. We're back after this timeout.
Thank you for your continued support of UAM Athletics.
Fourth down and 4 for the Boll Weevils from the Savage Storm 37-yard line. Trailing 21-7 at the moment. Kleinpeter wanting to throw, in trouble as he drops back. He's going to be sacked all the way back at the 43-yard line. The Savage Storm brought the house as they brought everybody. Getting credit for the sack for them is going to be Malik Hall. And the Weevils will turn it over on downs at the Savage Storm 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for Southeastern. Just under 9 minutes left to play in the first half. The Savage Storm offense comes back out onto the field. They'll spread it out once again with twin receivers coming wide right. One receiver wide left, tight end to the wide side of the field as well. Hadley, your quarterback. Dalton Hadley, the senior out of Clovis, New Mexico. Takes the snap, going to hand it off. They run a reverse as they flip it back to Caleb Whitley. Whitley across the 45, and he'll be bumped out of bounds just shy of midfield up at the 49-yard line. As that'll be a gain of 5 on the play. Second down and 5 for the Savage Storm. They ran it right into the Savage Storm bench over there on the far sideline from our broadcast position. So second down and 5 now for the Storm from their own 49-yard line. Wheeler stays in at the running back spot. Trip receivers come wide right. Hadley hands off. Wheeler cross midfield inside Weevil territory to the 40 to the 35. He's going to be inside the 30 and finally run out of bounds down near the 29-yard line. They'll move the chains. It'll be another first down for Southeastern down at the Weevil 29-yard line. So a first down for Southeastern at the Weevil 29. And the Weevil defense has got to find a way to make a stop here. On 1st and 10, Hadley calling for the signal. 1 to throw. Straight drop. Airs it out down the left sideline. Going to overthrow his intended receiver down at the goal line, as that was number 4. That was Marquise Gray, the wide receiver. Defending on the play for the Boll Weevils was Greg Hooks. And bring up a second down and 10. That'll stop the clock with 7:36 left to play here in the first half. Savage Storm leading 21-7. Ball on the left hash mark. Trip receivers come wide right. Hadley hands it off to Wheeler. Wheeler picks his way through the line. He's going to get it down close to the 27-yard line. Going to be a gain of a couple of yards before he's brought down there. Make it a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 7 now for the Southeastern as they mark it down at the 26-yard line. So 3rd and 7. No huddle by the Savage Storm. They'll come to the line of scrimmage and call the play from there. Trip receivers come wide right. On 3rd and 7, Weevil show a 4-man front defensively. Now the Storm will change the play at the line of scrimmage after they look over the defense. Hadley gets the snap, hands it off to Wheeler. Wheeler reverses his field, hit behind the line of scrimmage, and going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage. Weevils do a great job defensively. And they come up with a loose football, and it's going to be a turnover against Southeastern. Coming up with a loose football for the Boll Weevils. Didn't see it come out, but recovered is Alfreni Hankins. And UAM forces the second turnover of the afternoon. Wheeler was running to his left. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage. I didn't see the ball come loose, but Alfreni Hankins comes out of there with it, and the Weevils take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line with 6:41 to play here before halftime, trailing 21-7. Dorian Manuel stays in at the running back spot. Savage Storm in a 5-man front. Kleinpeter throws complete out to LeCedric Smith. A quick out route. It's out over the 30, out to the 32-yard line. As that'll be a gain of 6. Make it 5 on the play. Gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5. The 2 tight ends come out. 2 wide receivers come in. Now for the Boll Weevils as they'll spread the field with 4 wideouts. Trips to the near side of the field to us. On 2nd down and 5, Kleinpeter hands it off to Manuel. Dorian hitting behind the line of scrimmage. Going to be a drop for a 2-yard loss. It's coming through for Southeastern. It's going to be Cameron Tate, the linebacker. They'll drop him all the way back at the 30-yard line. Loss of 2. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Now for UAM, 5:43 to play before halftime. On 3rd and 7, Kleinpeter 1 to throw. Looking, throws over the middle. It's complete. LeCedric, he's hit as he makes the catch out at the 30-yard line. And that's the linebacker who stayed at home, Connor Swope. And that'll be no gain on the play. And bring up a 4th down. Actually, they give him a forward progress out to the 32-yard line. It'll be 4th down and a long 6. Now for the Bo Weevils, and the punting unit will come on once again as we go under 5 minutes left to play in the first half. Southeastern leading 21-7. Braxton Kincaid back deep. A low snap. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗘𝗥 gets the kickoff. This one will carry toward the sideline and going to go out of bounds down around the 32-yard line. We'll see where they mark it at the 30. It'll be 1st and 10 for Southeastern at their own 30-yard line. They have one timeout remaining with 4:48 left to play here before half. Southeastern leading 21-7. We'll see the Savage Storm offense come back out on the field when play resumes. It's an official timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here. Remind you that we're on the road next Saturday as we travel to East Central Oklahoma. Take on the Tigers down there. In 2 weeks from today, we're back at home for the final game of the regular season against Southern Arkansas here at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium. Of course, we'll have the broadcast of all those ball games right here on KHBM 93.7 FM, your home of UAM Sports. So far through the ball game, looks like UAM with 58 yards, or 52 yards rushing. Southeastern with 58. Through the air, Southeastern 136 yards. UAM with 111 yards through the air. Waiting on play to resume. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Savage Storm from their own 30-yard line. With 4:48 left to play here in the first half. Southeastern leading 21-7. Weevils have forced 2 turnovers. Were able to capitalize on one of them. Southeastern blocked the punt and scored. Trip receivers go wide left. One comes wide right. Hatley out of the shotgun. Play action. Quick throw. Over the middle. Completed to 35. They'll carry it out close to the 37-yard line before he's finally wrestled down there. There'll be a gain of 7 on the play. Making the catch is 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗍𝗔. Blakely going to be the 5th receiver for them to have made a catch here this afternoon. 2nd down and 3 now for the Savage Storm. Ball spotted at their own 37-yard line. They'll spread the field, 4 wide outs. Trips here to the wide side of the field. Ball on the left hash mark as Hatley has 𝗗𝗏𝗏 in the backfield. Going to want to throw again. Looking. Quick turnaround route. Incomplete. Overthrown. Pass was intended over there for Braxton Kincaid. Goes over his head. Defending on the play for the Bo Weevils over there was Daquan Street. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 now for Southeastern. Just under 4 minutes left to play here before halftime. Southeastern leading 21-7. They'll shuffle in some players. Running back's going to be 𝗗𝗏𝗏. He'll line up on the right side of Hatley in the backfield. Trip receivers come wide right. One goes wide left. Hatley wanting to throw. Hatley forced out of the pocket. He'll keep it himself. He's got the 1st down across the 40, 45, across midfield, and run out of bounds near the Bo Weevil 45-yard line. And a couple of flags are going to come in over there on the Southeastern sideline. Little extracurricular activities going on as the quarterback, Hatley, ran out of bounds. And then the flags came in after everything was blown dead. We may add 15 yards on to the end of the run, or hopefully it'll be offsetting penalties would be UAM's best bet. The officials are discussing what they're going to do. See if we can get the call from down on the field from our head official.
Fouls by both teams. defense. Good ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. On number 7, defense. They cancel their first unsportsmanlike conduct fouls. If either team player receives another, they will be disqualified from the game.
All right, unsportsmanlike conduct calls on both squads. So the play will stand. It'll be a first down at the UAM 47-yard line as penalties will be offsetting. 1st and 10 for Southeastern at the Weevil 47-yard line. 3:45 to play before half. Southeastern has 1 timeout remaining. UAM has 2. Trip receivers come wide right. Hatley hands it off up the middle. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗍 straight ahead inside the 45 down to the 41-yard line. He's going to be hit and brought down hard there. Coming up to make the stop for UAM. It's going to be Demarius White along with Donde Fuller. But a gain of 5 on the play, so 2nd down and 5. They'll mark it at the 41-yard line of UAM. They stay with a tight end set wide to the right. Twin receivers wide right. Hatley on 2nd down. Handoff again, 𝗗𝗚𝗏, left side. 𝗗𝗚𝗏 gets it back to the line of scrimmage, and he's caught from behind and brought down there by Demarius White. Be no gain on the play. Bring up a 3rd down and 5 from the 41-yard line. Right now, Southeastern is 3 out of 5 on 3rd down conversions. They'll be looking at 3rd down, actually a 3rd and 4. They mark it at the Weevil 40-yard line. Down to 2:25 left to play before halftime. 21-7 our score. Southeastern with the lead and the football. Hatley puts his tight end in motion. Hatley hands it off 𝗗𝗚𝗏 up the middle. He's got the 1st down inside the 35 to the Weevil 30 all the way down to the 28-yard line. As they'll move the chains, coming up to make the stop for the Bull Weevils again, 𝗗𝗏𝗏 Allen. But not before they pick up the 1st down, so they'll move the chains and spot it at the UAM 29-yard line. 1st and 10 as we go under 2 minutes left to play before half. And Southeastern hoping to put points on the board and not leave UAM with a lot of time left here before halftime. Hatley, draw play, handed off. It's going to be to Wheeler. Wheeler going to be hit at the 27. He'll fall forward down to the 26-yard line. Making the stop for the Bull Weevils there is Donde Fuller. A gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Clock continues to run down to 1:19. Ball spotted at the Weevil 27-yard line. 2nd down and 8 for Southeastern. Trip receivers come wide right. Hatley wanting to throw. Looking left, has all day, now forced out of the pocket, backing up. He's going to throw this one away. Weevils were finally able to get pressure on him. It came from up the middle, and Hatley has to throw it away. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 for Southeastern. Ball spotted at the Weevil 27-yard line. Clock has stopped with 59 seconds remaining here before half. That was Donde Fuller with the pressure coming up the middle for UAM. So 3rd down and 8 from the Weevil 27. Trip receivers come wide right. Hatley, a straight drop back, looking right, fires out in the flat. It's going to be in and out of the hands of his intended receiver down at the 22-yard line. I don't think it had much there. You had 3 Bull Weevils right there around him, getting ready to make the tackle if he'd have made the catch. And one of them was Cavante Featherson. It'll bring up a 4th down and 8 for Southeastern at the 27-yard line. And this is going to be too far to attempt a field goal, so they're going to go for it. Leading 21-7. Southeastern going for it on 4th down and 8 from the Weevil 27. Hatley, straight drop, throws over the middle, complete at the 20, down to the 19. Going to be very close to the 1st down. He's got it as they'll spot it at the 18-yard line. Move the chains, a first down for Southeastern. They'll quickly get up on the football, try to save that one timeout. 35 seconds remaining. Now they snap the football, and UAM is going to call the timeout. With 34 seconds remaining before halftime, the Weevils use a timeout here, trying to regroup their defense. They trail 21-7. It will be first down and 10 for Southeastern from the Weevil 18-yard line when play resumes. We'll take the break and be back after this timeout. (21-7), Southeastern lead it, so go for it on 1st and 10 with 34 seconds remaining. They throw it, pass into the end zone, it's going to be incomplete. It was intended down there for Marquise Gray. He overthrew him in the corner of the end zone. It only took 4 seconds off the clock, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 now for Southeastern. They do have one timeout remaining. They lead it 21-7. As Hatley, the senior quarterback for Southeastern, gets the play in from the sideline. Twin receivers come wide right, one goes wide left. Hatley, straight drop, looking left, now looking right. Throws it up toward the back of the end zone, and it's going to be batted down in the back of the end zone. The Weevils come up and make a play. That was really a jump ball thrown up. Knocking it down for UAM is going to be Greg Hooks. And that'll leave 22 seconds on the clock now. 3rd down and 10 for Southeastern. Ball at the UAM 18-yard line. They'll have one more shot here before they try the field goal. They'll send twin receivers wide left. One comes wide to the right. On 3rd down and 10 from the 18. Hatley, straight drop. Now looking again toward the end zone. Throws, and it's going to be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Savage Storm. Marquise Gray with the catch over the Boll Weevils. Defending on the play was Greg Hooks. He never got turned around to look at it to see where the ball was, and the receiver with Marquise Gray was able to make the grab. The extra point coming now for Southeastern as Trey Keats is on to attempt the extra point. He's perfect 3 out of 3 today. The holder is Riley Russell. Russell gets the snap down. The kick's on its way, and it is good. 28-7. Southeastern extends their lead with 15 seconds remaining here before halftime. We'll take a break and be back with more UAM football after this timeout. 28-7, Southeastern leads it. If they send their score, they'll kick it off, taken by Dorian Manuel, back at the 15, returns it up over the 20, up to the 25, make it the 27-yard line. And that's where the Weevils will have it with 8 seconds remaining here before halftime. They'll mark it out at the 29. 1st and 10, Bo Weevils. Edwin Klein-Peter got to start this afternoon at quarterback following the injury to 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥 last week, who broke his collarbone. So Klein-Peter out of the gun, going to hand it off. That's going to be Thomas. Hayden Thomas gets it out close to the 30, and that's going to be the end of the first half. Our score here at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium at halftime is Southeastern Oklahoma 28, the UAM Bo Weevils 7. Both teams head toward the locker room on a field that is wet. Not that nasty, but it has been raining. It did rain across southeast Arkansas. We can't complain about the rain that we've had because that was a welcomed shower that we had across the state this morning. But hadn't helped the Weevils here this afternoon as they trail 28-7 to the Savage Storm of Southeastern Oklahoma State University. We'll take a break here at halftime and come back with our halftime show for you when we return in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we can now draw your attention to the 50-yard line for recognition of our game day sponsor, Drew Memorial. They are being accompanied by the Assistant Athletic Director for External Affairs, Garyana Pace, and UAM Chancellor, Dr. Peggy Doss, who are presenting them with a commemorative football helmet for their sponsorship of today's game. We thank you for your continued support of UAM Athletics. Let's give a big round of applause to Drew Memorial. Fans, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We'd like to now take this opportunity to recognize a special breast cancer survivor to the field, Miss Donna Silva. Donna is the mother of our offensive coordinator, Ryan Lusby, and she is joined by her grandsons, Peyton and Drew Lusby. Breast cancer has affected so many people and their families. Please take a second to thank those loved ones affected by breast cancer, and let's give Miss Donna Silva a big round of applause.
And we welcome you back here at halftime. It is 28-7, Southeastern Oklahoma State University, the Savage Storm with a lead over the Bo Weevils here at halftime. As we'll take a look at some of the numbers for you here in just a moment. But Southeastern Oklahoma State had a blocked punt that they returned for a score. Weevils had 2 turnovers they came up with, scored on one of them, could not capitalize on the second one. And the Weevils trail here at the half by a score of 28-7 as the UAM marching band getting set to perform here before the crowd here at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium. So we'll see if we can get a little of their performance here at halftime for you here on the radio. Glad you're with us on this Saturday afternoon. Don't forget we'll be on the road next week as we travel to East Central Oklahoma for a 2 o'clock kickoff next Saturday for the Bo Weevils. And then the following Saturday on the 11th, I believe that's the opening day of deer season, we'll be right back here at home at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium. If you're going out trick-or-treating this weekend, be careful. Watch for the kids. Be sure and pay attention. Look for those little youngsters and little monksters out running around, collecting candy on Sunday night and possibly Monday night during the Halloween ceremonies. And we invite you to go out and vote. Early voting is going on now. Of course, Election Day is November the 8th. Here's the UAM Marching Band. And the UAM Marching Band performing for us here at halftime here at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium. The Weevils trail 28-7 to Southeastern Oklahoma. We'll take a break. We'll come back and look at some of the numbers for you and some of the scores from around the Great American Conference when we return after this timeout. Back here at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium, 28-7 our score. Southeastern Oklahoma State, the Savage Storm with the lead over the Weevils here, 28-7 at halftime. Other scores from around the Great American Conference in the second quarter. Arkansas Tech was leading Southwestern Oklahoma 10-7. It was Southern Arkansas with a lead over Oklahoma Baptist 17-6. And the only other game that we have that's going on right now is Southern Nazarene, a surprise, leading Henderson State 13-7. Of course, on Thursday night, Ouachita Baptist played East Central and came out with a win as they came from behind to clinch at least a part of the Great American Conference Championship. On Thursday night, Ouachita defeated East Central. That's where we go next Saturday, down and play East Central. The only other game that started just a few moments ago, Northwest Oklahoma State taking on Harding. I have no score on that ball game as of yet. The Weevils trail here at halftime. Our score is 28-7. Southeastern with the lead. The Weevils opened up a 7-0 score as they intercepted a pass, went 42 yards for the opening score of the ball game, but since then, Southeastern has scored 28 unanswered points. 3 of them on the offense. 1 was a blocked punt returned for a touchdown for the Savage Storm, and that's where we stand. 28-7. Southeastern Oklahoma with the lead over the Boll Weevils. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll have your first half statistics for you when we return after this timeout. $28-7 our score here at halftime. $28-7 our score here at the half. Southeastern Oklahoma State with the lead over the Boll Weevils. Looking at some of the numbers here in the first half, Southeastern with 10 first downs here in the ball game. UAM with only 4 in the first half. UAM has rushed the football 18 times for 52 yards, while Southeastern 20 times for 94 yards. Passing on the afternoon, Southeastern 7 of 16 with 1 interception, 112 yards through the air, while UAM is 6 of 13 for 59 yards through the air. Total offense here in the first half, Southeastern with 36 offensive plays, 206 yards. UAM 31 offensive plays, 111 yards. UAM has been penalized 3 times for 35. Southeastern 1 for 5. Third down efficiencies, Southeastern at 4 of 8, while UAM 3 of 9 on third down. The other big factor, I think, would be that Southeastern's 2 of 2 on fourth down conversions, and the Weevils are 0 of 1 on fourth down conversions. That allowed them to keep a couple of drives alive that they went on in to score. As the Weevils opened the scoring up, they led 7-0 early. Since then, Southeastern has gone on a 28-0 run to lead here at halftime, 28-7. We are at halftime. Both teams starting to make their way back out of the dressing rooms. We'll take another break, come back and look at individual numbers for you when we return right after this timeout. Back here at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium, the Boll Weevils trail 28-7 here at the half as both teams start to make their way back out of the dressing room. Looking individually, Edwin 𝗗𝗏𝗦𝗖𝗟 on the afternoon on 6 of 13 for 59 yards. The longest was 27 yards, been sacked 1 time. While the quarterback for Southeastern, Hatley, he's 7 of 16 with 1 interception, been sacked once, 131 yards through the air, and has 2 TDs through the air. Southeastern Oklahoma State rushing. Their starting rusher is Wheeler. He's got 10 carries for 58 yards, while UAM leading ground gainer on the afternoon has been Hayden Thomas, 6 carries for 27 yards and 1 TD. As longest was a 21-yard touchdown run that he had. Dorian Manuel, 9 carries for 22 yards on the afternoon. And Watson, the backup quarterback, 1 carry for 3. 𝗗𝗏𝗦𝗟, 2 for 1 yard, 2 carries for 1 yard. Receiving, Cedric Smith, 5 catches on the afternoon, 46 yards, no touchdowns. And Isaiah Cross, 1 for 13. For Southeastern, they've used 4 different receivers, as Manuel Gray has 4 catches for 61 yards and a touchdown. Nunez has 1 catch for 35 yards and a touchdown. Whitley, 1 for 9, and Blakely, 1 for 7. As Southeastern ends up going 7 of 16 on the afternoon, 112 yards through the air, while the Weevils are 6 of 13 for 59. Weevils have struggled a little bit offensively here this afternoon after getting off to a pretty good start. After they came up with the interception, forced a turnover there on the first possession of the ball game by Southeastern. Took over 42 yards away and went in to score to take a 7-0 lead. Since then, Southeastern has scored 28 unanswered points here this afternoon to take this lead here at halftime. 28-7, our score. The Savage Storm of Southeastern Oklahoma State University have a lead over your UAM Bull Weevils here this afternoon at halftime on an overcast day. Again, the rain moved through earlier this morning, and has quit, subsided. The crowd turned out. They didn't have any tailgating or the Walk of Champions before the ball game here this afternoon because there was so much rain in the area, so they postponed or canceled all the tailgating that they had earlier today. But the crowd came on out after the rain subsided. And it's been a great afternoon for football. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the start of the second half when we return in just a moment.
Kickoff's returned by number 37, Ryan Hurt. It's tackled to
28-7, Southeastern with the lead. They get the football to start the third quarter as the kickoff is fielded at the 20, returned up close to the 38-yard line. That's where the Savage Storm will have their first possession of the second half with a 3-score lead, 28-7. Weevil defense has got to make a stop here early in this second half. Hadley, your quarterback, will work out of the shotgun. And now a flag comes in before the first play is ever snapped, and they're going to call a delay of game against Southeastern. So coming out of the halftime break, Southeastern doesn't get out there in time, and they'll start behind the sticks. 1st and 15 for the Savage Storm as they'll spot it back at the 33-yard line. Hatley, your quarterback. DeAndre Wheeler, the running back. Twin receivers come wide left. Hatley going to hand it off to Wheeler. Stutter steps, goes it up in the middle of the field. He'll be stopped shy of the 35 at the 34-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of only a yard, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 14 for Southeastern. Just underway to start the third quarter. 28-7. Southeastern with the lead here. They'll have it 2nd down and 14. Again, Dalton Hatley out of the shotgun. Weevils will rush 4. He wanted to throw. Fires quickly into the flat. Pressure coming. It's going to be incomplete. Underthrown. Intended to Deuce Pittman. out here in the flats. Going to bring up a 3rd and long now for Southeastern Oklahoma. They are 4 of 8 on 3rd down conversions this afternoon. But this will be a 3rd and 14 to start the 3rd quarter. Weevils would love to get them a 3 and out. Hatley looks over the defense. He'll send twin receivers on either side. Weevils showing a 4-man front. See if they bring the heat and bring the linebackers as they're cheating. Weevils going to bring the blitz, it looks like. Hatley straight drop. They rush 4. He's forced out of the pocket. Hatley in trouble. Avoids it back at the 20. Buys some time. Now throws deep over the middle. It's going to be caught at the 45 of UAM and into Weevil territory down to the 43-yard line. Making the catch there was Marquise Gray. But give that all to the quarterback, Hatley, for buying the time. He avoided the pressure. Was able to avoid the sack and find an open receiver down the field. 1st and 10 for the Savage Storm at the Weevil 43-yard, make it the 42-yard line. Hatley again out of the shotgun. First possession of the 3rd quarter, they lead it 28-7. Hatley wanted to throw again. Wide receiver screen, complete out here in the flat. Owen carries it inside the 40 down to the Weevil 38-yard line. He's going to be bumped out of bounds there. Making the catch is Catrell Blakely. Coming over to make the stop for UAM is going to be Cavante Featherson. A gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6 now for the Savage Storm, as they'll send trip receivers wide to the right. Ball on the left hash mark. The Savage Storm moving from right to left here in this 3rd quarter, from south to north at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium. On 2nd down and 6. They change the play at the line of scrimmage. Hatley wanting to throw, looking right, fires over the middle. It's going to be complete inside the 30 down to the Weevil 28-yard line. Again, making the catch on Marquise Gray on a quick post pattern. And coming up to make the stop on him there is going to be Donde Fuller. But that'll be enough for another 1st down, a gain of 13 on the play. 1st and 10 for the Savage Stormers. They're making it look easy here on this first possession of the 3rd period, leading 28-7. And knocking on the door at the Weevil 27-yard line. Hatley rolling right, looking back left, throws complete to the tight end at the 20, down to the 15, going to be bumped out of bounds. Making his 2nd catch of the afternoon is going to be Matthew Nunez. Nunez, the tight end out of Ferris, Texas. That'll move the chains again. It'll be inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Savage Storm. They'll go with a tight end, 2 tight end set now. And a bunch set to the wide side of the field. 2 tight ends. Wide receivers come in tight to the right side. Going to play action, rolling to his right. Hatley looking toward the end zone. Going to be throw it short, complete at the 10, and be hit immediately there and dropped at the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5. That's going to be one of the tight ends that just checked into the game. Matthew Nunez again, making the catch for Southeastern. Gain of 6, actually. It'll be 2nd down and 4. They'll spot it at the 9-yard line of UAM. First possession of the 3rd quarter. Southeastern leading 28-7. They're inside the red zone at the 9. Can pick up a 1st down inside the 5. They hand it off to Wheeler. Wheeler's got the 1st down and more as he heads for the goal line. Touchdown, Southeastern Oklahoma. Dante Wheeler from 9 yards out extends this Southeastern lead 34-7 with the extra point coming now with 10:57 to play in the 3rd period. The extra point coming from Terry Keats. He's been perfect on the afternoon, a perfect 4 of 4 so far today. Be kicking into the field house. Snaps down, flags come in. UAM's going to jump off sides. The kick is good. UAM's going to jump offside, so they'll decline the penalty and take the play.
Defense. The players decline. Result of play. Extra point is good.
Extra point is good. And the Savage Storm will extend their lead to 35-7 here this afternoon with 10:57 left to play in the third quarters. That was the opening drive of the third period. Savage Storm goes 67 yards in 7 plays to make the score. And we've got a timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. We're back right after this timeout. $63 yards in 7 plays. Southeastern gets on the board here to start the second half. They lead at 35-7 as they'll get set to kick it off. Dorian Manuel and Caleb Jacobs back deep for the Boll Weevils. They'll stand at their own 10. As this one is going to be fielded, looks like by Dorian Manuel at the 5. Returned up to the 10, to the 15. Manuel is going to be stopped shy of the 20-yard line at the 18. And the Weevils will have it 1st and 10 for their first possession. They've got a big hill to climb as they trail 35-7. Edwin Kleinepeter, your quarterback. Like Hayden Thomas is going to get the start at running back here in the second half for the Boll Weevils. UAM will go with twin receivers on either side. Weevils moving from left to right here in this third quarter, from north to south. Here at Convoy Leslie, Cotton Bowl Stadium. Kleinepeter calling for the first play. Wanting to throw. Dumps it off to Hayden Thomas out of the backfield. Thomas is going to get a couple of yards out to the 20 before he's bumped out of bounds there. Making the stop for Southeastern is Connor Swope, the outside linebacker for the Savage Storm. Give him a gain of 1, actually. It'll be out to the 20, so 2nd down and 9 for the Boll Weevils. Ian Welsh checks in now at tight end. Kleinepeter again wanting to throw. Straight drop back, looking, has a lot of time. Now he's in trouble. He's going to be hit and just throws this one away. Did he get it back to the line of scrimmage? We'll see. No flag yet. As he goes down, now there is a flag, and it's going to be an intentional grounding call against the Boll Weevils. Kleinepeter had a lot of time, but nowhere to go with it, and finally the pocket collapsed, and he's going to be sacked. And to avoid the sack, they're going to get him for the intentional grounding. Flag went down at the 10. It'll be 3rd down and long for the Boll Weevils. Thomas stays in at the running back spot. Trip receivers go wide left for UAM. Kleinepeter up directing traffic. Southeastern going to rush 3 and drop 8 back in coverage. Kleinepeter in trouble in the backfield. Kleinepeter fighting, going to be sacked again. They're going to mark him down at the 15-yard line, and coming through to get the sack is going to be Malik Hall. Hall makes the sack. Weevils going to go 3 and out. Be looking at 4th down and 15. And they'll have to punt it away as Gsadi will come on to punt the football. He'll stand at his own goal line to punt the football away. Going back deep is going to be Braxton Kincaid for Southeastern. 9:31 left to play in the third quarter. Southeastern leading 35-7. High spiraling kick, fielded and caught and then hit immediately and brought down as Kincaid as he catches it at the 48-yard line. Coming down on the special teams for the Boll Weevils and making the tackle, also injured on the play. We're trying to wait and get the number on it and see who it is. He hit him with his left shoulder and left arm. It may have just got a stinger there, but they're going to tend to him down on the field. So Southeastern will have a short field to work with from their own 48-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Savage Storm when play resumes following the injury timeout. Next week we're on the road. We travel to East Central, final road game of the season for the Boll Weevils. It'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff next Saturday, so I hope you'll join us right here on KHBM if you can't make the trip. And then we'll be back at home for the final game of the regular season 2 weeks from today. We'll take on Southern Arkansas. All right, the injured player for the Boll Weevils is going to get up and walk off the field under his own power. That's 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓. Abraham is a redshirt freshman out of Lake Placid, Florida. He gets up and walks off under his own power. 1st and 10 for the Savage Storm at their own 48-yard line. They'll leave Hatley in at quarterback. The running back this series is going to be Jason Nagwa. Trip receivers go wide right for Hatley. Ball on the left hash mark. Hatley gets a snap, play action, wanting to throw deep down the right side, throwing into a crowd, going to overthrow everybody. As he intended it for Marquise Gray on a fly pattern down the right sideline. Weevils had a couple of players back there. Scott was one of them. Daquan Street was one of them. Also back there for the Weevils defending was Katron Allen. So 2nd down and 10. Now for Southeastern with 9:15 to play in the third. They took the opening drive of the third quarter and went 67 yards to extend their lead 35-7. Hatley hands it off in the backfield. Nagwa hit, going to be dropped for a loss. Coming through for the Boll Weevils to make the hit on him is Theron Ballard. Ballard, a junior out of DeSoto, Texas, coming through and makes the stop for a loss of 4 on the play. 3rd down and 14 for Southeastern now as they'll spot it back at their own 44-yard line. Southeastern will go with 1 back in the backfield, 2 tight ends, 1 receiver on either side. Hatley calling the play. Weevils are going to rush 4. Drop 7 back in coverage. Throws a comeback route. It's going to be incomplete. Intended over there for Marcus Gray. Street with the coverage, and Southeastern is going to be forced to punt it away. As their punter will come on, this will be only their second punt of the afternoon. Back deep. Dorian Manuel will stand at his own 15-yard line to await the punt. Southeastern gets all their personnel out on the field. They get a good snap, get the kick away, and Manuel signals for the fair catch at the 15-yard line. He'll make it there as he sits down to make the catch. And the Weevils will have it 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line with 8:24 to play here in the third quarter. Southeastern Oklahoma State leading 35-7 over our UAM Boll Weevils here this afternoon. Weevils took the early lead early in the ball game, but since then, Southeastern scored 35 unanswered here to take this lead. Weevils playing from behind. Edwin 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗓, your quarterback. Dorian Manuel, the lone setback in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Dorian. Dorian hitting the backfield, and he's not going to get it back to the line of scrimmage. I don't say that. Extra effort. Ball comes loose. Southeastern says they have it as It looked like he was stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They didn't blow it dead. He's fighting for extra yardage. The ball came loose, and there's a pile down there. We haven't had official signal yet. Now flags will come in as they unpile everybody. There's still no indication of whose football it is. It will be a fumble recovery by Southeastern, and then they'll determine what the flag is because it was a dead ball foul. And they'll mark the penalty off against UAM's, against the Weevils.
That's the play. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 54 from Monticello. Dead ball.
Unsportsmanlike conduct call after the play was blown dead. And mark it off against the Weevils. Southeastern will have the football. Let's see. They'll mark it at the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 for Southeastern. They can blow it out here with 8:11 left to play in the third, leading 35-7. They'll be inside the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 17, make it the 16-yard line. Hatley back in, Wheeler the running back. Going to hand it off to Wheeler. Wheeler straight ahead, down close to the 15-yard line. He'll gain about 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8 now for Southeastern from the 15-yard line of UAM when they unpile everybody. So 2nd and 8 for the Savage Storm from the Weevil 15. Southeastern will stay in the spread. They'll send 2 receivers wide to the left with a tight end to that side. 2 tight ends to the left side as well. Now send 1 in motion. Hand it off to Wheeler again. Wheeler hit at the line of scrimmage and going nowhere. No gain on the play. He's going to be driven backwards. Coming up to make the stop for UAM, going to be Demarius White, the linebacker. Demarius, a junior out of Urbana, Arkansas. And the running back, Wheeler, is slow and getting up. Trainer's going to come out and look at him. As we've got an injury timeout down on the field. 7:12 to play in the third quarter. It is 35-7. Southeastern Oklahoma State leads it. We're back after this timeout. Well, the injured player for Southeastern Oklahoma State, DeAndre Wheeler, they've got him up on his feet now. He hadn't walked off the field. They're going to gingerly let him limp off the field. 35-7, Southeastern has the lead. 7:12 to play here in the third quarter. It will be 3rd down and 8 for Southeastern when play resumes from the Weevil 15-yard line. As Southeastern recovers the fumble and have it knocking on UAM's door. They'll stay with trip receivers wide to the right. Tight end to the short side of the field on the left. The running back now is going to be Jason Nagwa. Hatley out of the shotgun on 3rd and 8 from the Weevil 15. As he looks over the defense, straight drop back, wanting to throw. Looking toward the end zone, throws, it's going to be incomplete. Intended out there for Catrell Blakely in the corner of the end zone. Ball just a little overthrown, and it'll bring up a 4th down and Southeastern is going to send in the field goal unit. As Trey Keats will come on to attempt the field goal. This will be a 31-yard, make it a 32-yard attempt from the center of the field. He'll be kicking toward the north, toward the indoor practice facility. He's been perfect on the afternoon on extra points. Snap is high. They get it down. The kick is on its way, and it is good. And Southeastern will extend their lead 38-7 here over the Boll Weevils here in the third quarter with 6:48 remaining in the third. We're back with more UAM football from Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium right after this timeout. (38-7), Southeastern Oklahoma State extends their lead there with a 31-yard field goal. They'll kick it off. This one will carry into the end zone for an automatic touchback, and the Weevils are going to have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Needing to get some offense going. We're going to have a new running back into the ball game now for the Boll Weevils. Looks like it's going to be Gary Furman, the junior out of Santa Ana, California. He'll line up in the pistol formation behind Edwin 𝗗𝗏𝗧. He'll get the calls. He takes a handoff over the left side, lowers his shoulder out over the 25, out near the 30-yard line. Be a gain of 5, almost 6 on the play by Furman. Well, he runs straight ahead, just lowered his shoulder. He picks up 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Weevils quickly, handoff again. Furman this time hit at the line of scrimmage, and not much there. He's going to get a yard over that left side. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 for the Boll Weevils. Ball spotted at their own 27-yard line. Make it the 32-yard line. 3rd down and 3. 𝗗𝗏𝗧 hands it off again. Furman hit behind the line. Going to get it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. And the Weevils will look at a 4th down and 3 from their own 32-yard line here in the third quarter with 5:44 left to play. They're going to send the punting unit back onto the field. Southeastern defense has not allowed the Weevils much offense here in the second half. You go back and look at it, Weevils with 11 total yards here in the third quarter. And that's it. On 38 plays, Southeastern has run 50 plays in the ball game for 271 yards. High spiraling kick, fair catch called for down at the 30-yard line by Southeastern. That's where they'll take over at their own 30, 1st and 10. But through the ball game, Southeastern 50 plays, 271 yards. UAM 38 plays for 117 yards. So the Weevils have not been able to pick up a 1st down here in this second half so far. And Southeastern will take over following the punt. 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line here with 5:14 left to play in the third period. Pretty much got it in control. They're going to leave their starting quarterback in at Hatley. Dalton Hatley got a new running back. We'll tell you who that is in just a moment. Twin receivers go to the right. Handoff's going to go to their new back in the there, and he's out over the 30, out close to the 35-yard line as he'll get it out for about 5 yards. And on the carry there for Southeastern Oklahoma is number 37, Ryan Hurt, sophomore out of Coppell, Texas. Gain of 5, second down and 5 now for the Savage Storm. So on 2nd and 5, Coppell stays in at the running back spot. Hatley calling for the snap. Hands it off. That's Hurt. Hurt, big hole out over the 40, 45. Going to be finally brought down out near the 48-yard line. Is coming up to make the stop for the Boll Weevils is Bryson LeBlanc. But not before they can move the chains and pick up another first down. A 13-yard gain. I'll mark it out at the 49, almost at midfield. And they will mark it at midfield. It'll be 1st and 10 for Southeastern. Well, the big offensive lineman has to go out of the ball game for Southeastern. He'll for some equipment adjustment. 1st and 10 for the Storm. Ball spotted at midfield. Under 4 minutes left to play. 3rd quarter. They lead it 38-7. Hatley again, hands off. Hilt, big hole at the 40, right to the 30, to the 20. Run down from behind and finally brought down by the Boll Weevils, Katron Allen, down inside the 15-yard line at the 10. It'll be 1st and goal to go. Southeastern at the 10-yard line. As that is Ryan Hurt, the running back. Big gain there for him. 40 yards on the carry, and it'll be 1st and goal. Southeastern look to tack on some more as they lead at 38-7. Here with 3 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Hatley out of the shotgun. Twin receivers go wide right. He'll leave it with Hurt again. Hurt straight up the middle. This time he's hit and knocked down for a loss. Coming through for UAM for the tackle for the loss is going to be Demarius White. I've called his name several times this afternoon on defense, and that's a tackle for a 2-yard loss there. Make it a 1-yard loss back to the 11. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 11-yard line. Two tight ends this time for Southeastern. Now they'll change the play as they look into the sideline. Hatley will shift Hurt over to the left side of him in the backfield. One receiver on either side, two tight ends. Hatley wanting to throw. Looking toward the end zone. Throw's going to be incomplete as it's intended down there for Hunter Hawthorne. Defending on the play was Greg Hooks for the Boll Weevils. He had great position on the inside. Ball's going to fall incomplete. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 11 now for Southeastern Oklahoma. So 3rd down and 11. 3rd and goal from the 11. As the Savage Storm takes their time. Play clock down to 5 seconds. Weevils shuffling on defense. Hatley wanting to throw, and now timeout called before the play clock expired by Southeastern Oklahoma. 2:10 left to play in the 3rd quarter. It is 38-7. Southeastern has a big lead over the Boll Weevils. We'll take a break and be back with more UAM football after this timeout. 38-7, Southeastern Oklahoma State with a lead over the Boll Weevils here as they call a timeout to keep the play clock from expiring, taking a delay of game penalty. 2:10 left to play in the third quarter. It's third down and goal from the 11-yard line. The running back in there is Ryan Hurt, quarterback Hatley. Trip receivers go wide right. As the Weevils show a four-man front defensively. Hatley, straight drop, steps up, fires toward the corner of the end zone, throws it up in the air. It's going to be incomplete. It'll bring up a 4th and goal from the 11, and the field goal unit's going to come on. They've already had one 21-yard, make it 131-yard field goal here this afternoon. That was on their last possession. Southeastern has scored 38 unanswered. They'll spot this one down. It'll be spotted at the 18, so a 28-yard field goal attempt from the left hash mark for their kicker, Trey Keats. Keats, they get the snap down. The kick is on its way. It's got the distance, and it is good. 41-7, Southeastern extends their lead even more with 2 minutes left to play in the third period here at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take it with them and be back with more UAM football right after this timeout. Dorian Manuel will field the kickoff inside the 10 at the 8, return it over the 15, the 20, out to the 24-yard line. That's where the Weevils will have it 1st and 10. That's been about their average starting position here in the second half. As the Weevils trail 41-7. Edwin Kleinpeter, your quarterback. Twin receivers go wide left. Kleinpeter wanting to throw on 1st down. Looking, going down the field for 𝗗𝗏𝗧. Going to be caught, and he'll go out of bounds. A flag comes in. Defensive pass interference. The play's going to stand, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be defensive pass interference. The play's going to stand as 𝗗𝗏𝗧 Smith makes a great catch down here at the 47-yard line of Southeastern. So UAM will pick up the 1st down. That'll be their first down of the second half, and it comes with 1:47 to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10 at the Southeastern 47-yard line. Manuel, the lone setback. Kleinpeter wanting to throw, again wanting to go deep, this time down the left sideline, and it's going to be incomplete, but another flag comes in. We're going to have another pass interference call, defensive pass interference call against Southeastern. As that pass there was intended for Charles Cameron. I believe it's number 9 or number 8. No, that's 19. That's going to be Mansfield. Jordan Mansfield was the intended receiver. So they'll mark off the 15 yards. The automatic 1st down will spot the football down at the Southeastern 32-yard line. 1st and 10, Boll Weevils here with 1:30 left to play. Kleinpeter back to pass again. This time going again, looking for Mansfield back at the end zone. Touchdown, Weevils. Mansfield with the catch. And the Weevils are on the board here in the second half. Make it 41-13. The extra point coming. 𝗗𝗏𝗧 will come on to attempt the extra point. with 1:28 to play before the end of the third quarter. The Weevils march it right down the field. 4 plays. A long pass play to Mansfield from Edwin Clyde-Peter, puts them on the board, makes it 41-13. The extra point coming. The snap is down, the kick is on its way, and it is good. So 41-14 our score. Southeastern still leads it. We'll be back right after this timeout. Well, the Weevils get on the board here in the second half. It's still 41-14. Southeastern with the lead. A high sky kick up in the air. Going to be caught and then taken out of bounds by Southeastern down around the 33-yard line. And that's where Southeastern will have the football. 1st and 10. They'll mark it at their own 32-yard line. With 1:27 to play here before the end of the third quarter. The Savage Storm will have it at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. They'll have it on the left hash mark, moving from right to left. Well, it turned out to be a pretty nice afternoon for the spectators. Cloudy skies, temperatures in the mid-60s, and no rain, but the field's starting to get a little sloppy after all the rain we had. Even as dry as it's been, starting to get a little muddy out there in some of those white jerseys for Southeastern. Showing a little mud on them. 1st and 10 for the Savage Storm. They'll leave Hatley in at quarterback, their starter. Nagua's in at the running back spot. On 1st and 10. Tight end comes in motion. Going to hand it off to Nagua. Nagua hit behind the line of scrimmage. Going to be dropped for a loss of 3. Coming through for the Boll Weevils to make the stop. There's Charles Cameron. A loss of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 13 now for the Savage Storm as we go under a minute left to play in the third quarter. 41-14. Southeastern in control of this one. As the Weevils jump off sides. They're going to blow it dead before the ball is snapped. The Weevils got into the neutral zone. Offsides against the Boll Weevils. Repeat 2nd down. They'll mark off the 5-yard penalty. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Now for Southeastern as they'll spot it out at the 34-yard line. So 2nd down and 9 for the Savage Storm. Hatley again out of the shotgun. Stays in at quarterback. Weevils almost jump off sides. Hatley throws this one. It's batted into line of scrimmage and going to fall incomplete. One of the Weevils got a hand on it there at the line of scrimmage, and I think it was Trey Hand that got the hand on it. It'll fall incomplete and bring up a 3rd down and 9 now for Southeastern. That'll stop the clock, though, with 38 seconds remaining here before the end of the third quarter. So the Savage Storm looking at 3rd and long. Play clock's down to 10. They haven't even come to the line of scrimmage. Started moving up. Now they'll try 4 seconds, 3 seconds. They're going to burn a timeout. Had a little confusion there before they got the play in. Savage Storm will use one of their timeouts here in the second half. That's actually their second timeout of the half, so they'll have one remaining. With 38 seconds left to play, it's 41-14, Southeastern Oklahoma State with the lead. We'll be back right after this timeout. As we come back out of the timeout, Southeastern looking at 3rd down and 9. They throw it over the right side. It's going to be complete out over the 45, out to midfield in Weevil territory, down to the 48-yard line. That'll be another first down for the Savage Storm as they now go 6 out of 13 on 3rd down conversions this afternoon. That'll put that one inside Weevil territory at the 48-yard line. 7 seconds remain here in the third. Southeast not going to snap the football as that'll be the end of the third quarter. The final 15 minutes of football coming your way here from Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium as the Savage Storm lead it 41-14. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the final 15 minutes for you here in just a moment.
First, we have Isaiah. We're questioning the holder on that one. But now, little brother, let's see what we can do here. John, let's see what you got. Let's give a big round of applause.
As we get set for the final 15 minutes of football here at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium, the Savage Storm of Southeastern Oklahoma State with a commanding lead, 41-14 over the Bull Weevils. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Storm from the Weevil 48-yard line. Hatley hands it off up the middle, and that's going to be a carry down close to the 45-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play, as that's 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗍 on the carry for Southeastern. Call it 2nd down and 7 for Southeastern Oklahoma, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of it on the ground here in this 4th quarter as they'll try to run the clock out and try to improve their record here this afternoon. As Hatley works out of the shotgun, puts his tight end in motion, comes to the right side, handoff 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗍 again. 𝗗𝗜𝗦 splits through the line of scrimmage across the 40, down close to the first down marker. He'll have it at the 37-yard line of UAM as they'll move the chains in Southeast Oklahoma State. On the ground this afternoon, 157 yards on the ground so far, 188 yards through the air. They've got 356 yards on 61 plays. The Weevils have been limited to 40 offensive plays and 178 yards on the day. 1st and 10, Southeast. The Storm Handoff again, got a new back end this time. He'll carry it inside the 35, down close to the 33-yard line. And this time the ball carrier is going to be Ryan Hurt. Hurt will pick up 3, bring up 2nd down and 7 now for Southeast Oklahoma. Make it 2nd down and 6, a gain of 4 on that play. We go under 13 minutes remaining here in the contest, 41-14. Southeast leads. They led at halftime. And have not looked back as they hand it off to Hurt again. Hurt carries inside the 30, the 25, down to the 20, and the Weevils will finally corral him inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. As coming up to make the stop for the Boll Weevils is going to be 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥 along with Donde Fuller. But they'll move the chains again. It'll be another 1st down, and once again, Southeastern's inside the red zone. 1st and 10 for the Savage Storm, leading 41-14. The Savage Storm taking a lot of time now. They're down to 8 seconds on the play clock. With one receiver on either side. Hand it off to Hurst again. Hurst straight ahead is going to get a yard, maybe 2 out of it. He'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play. Bring up a 2nd down and 8 for Southeastern Oklahoma as the Weevils are going to have to travel to East Central Oklahoma. They were leading a moment ago in their ball game that we had earlier. The score we had. They're on a 6-game winning streak, trying to make it 7 after today. Hatley wanted to throw, looking toward the back of the end zone, throws it up, and it's going to be knocked away and batted down. Great defensive play there by the Boll Weevils, as that's 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠😗, the defensive back. He's a freshman out of Texarkana, Texas, making the defensive play to knock that one down at the last second. So 3rd down and 9 for the Savage Storm. The ball spotted at the Weevil 17-yard line. Southeast leading 41-7. 41-14 make it. 41-14 our score. Hatley will look to throw. Straight drop back. Pressure coming. Throws a screen pass over the middle to Hurst. Hurst at the 15, the 10. Picks up a block. Touchdown, the Savage Storm. Hurst goes in from 17 yards out. And that'll make it 47-14. The Savage Storm. If you look at it, they've scored 47, outscored the Weevils 47-7. After the Weevils jumped out to an early lead, 7-0. The extra point coming. High snap, they get it down, a kick is on its way, and it is good. 48-14, the Savage Storm with the lead over the Boll Weevils. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more UAM football right after this timeout. 48-14, the Savage Storm extends their lead here this afternoon with 11:09 left to play in the fourth quarter. Again, the Savage Storm has outscored the Weevils 48-7 since the Weevils took a early 7-0 lead. Weevils did get a touchdown their last possession, but Savage Storm answer here, and they'll get set to kick it off once again. Dorian Manuel's back deep for the Weevils, along with Deshaun Jackson. They'll stand about their own 5, awaiting the kickoff. As they'll approach it and kick it off, Manuel's going to field this one at the 9. Dorian back up over the 15. He'll get it to the 20, out to the 23-yard line, and be down there as Dorian Manuel goes down on the kickoff return. And the Weevils will have it 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line here with 11:03 to play in the ball game. Edwin Kleinpeter has been your quarterback this afternoon. He's in for the injured 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥, who broke a collarbone last week and had surgery on it this week. He's done for the year. We'll have to wait and see him next year for the Weevils. We wish that young man a speedy recovery. Kleinpeter wanting to throw, looking. A little miscommunication as Mansfield was running down the field, and Kleinpeter threw it way behind him. So it'll fall incomplete. Stop the clock with 10:58 left to play. Bring up 2nd down and 10 now for the Boll Weevils. Ball spotted at their own 23-yard line. Southeastern Oklahoma putting in a lot of clean jerseys out there, on a wet, muddy field. It's not hard to notice clean jerseys coming on, so some new defensive players coming in for the Savage Storm. Kleinpeter on 2nd and 10. Straight drop back, looking, steps up in the pocket, now throws an out route. It's going to be caught for a short gain out to the 30-yard line, a gain of 7 on the play. Making the catch is Isaiah Cross. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 3. Now spotted on the left hash mark. Boll Weevils moving from right to left, from south to north here in this fourth quarter. 3rd and 3. Kleinpeter going to hand it off up the middle. We got the 1st down out over the 35, out close to the 35-yard line. As that's Gary Furman, the running back. He's a junior out of Santa Ana, California. Seeing his first action of the year this afternoon. That'll move the chains. It'll be a 1st down for the Boll Weevils with 10:09 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Trailing 48-14. Kleinpeter quickly snaps the football. Straight drop. Airs it out down the field. Looking for Caleb Jacobs at the 20. Going to overthrow him. Kleinpeter's got an arm. That one went 60 yards through the air. He overthrows Caleb Jacobs, running a straight fly pattern down the field. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Now for UAM. Southeastern's rushing 3. They're dropping 8 back in coverage. They know the Weevils have to try to throw the football. They'll rush 3, bring a linebacker this time. In trouble as Kleinpeter escapes it, rolling to his right, still on his feet, in trouble, now throws it toward the out of bounds. Didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage, and the flag comes in for an intentional grounding. So the Weevils are going to be penalized for the intentional grounding here. Kleinpeter released it in the grasp of the Southeastern player. And that'll back him up even more.
Intentional grounding, 0 for the offense. Spot foul, the loss of down. Brings up 3rd down.
Comes with a loss of down. It'll be 3rd down. They'll mark it all the way back to the 23, the original line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 20 for the Boll Weevils. That's where they started this drive. 3rd and 20. Kleinpeter, straight drop. They rush 3, steps up, fires to the wide out, and it's going to be complete to Cross out over the 40 at the 40-yard line. Well short of the 1st down. That'll be a gain of 14 on the play and bring up a 4th down and 6. And the Weevils have to go for it here with 9:27 left to play in the ball game, trailing 48-14. Weevils go for it from their own 40-yard line. On 4th and 6, 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥 steps up, rolls to his right, fires into the flat. It's going to be deflected and knocked down. Knocked away at the last second by the defensive secondary over there. That was Caleb Tobus, who came up to knock it down. The Weevils are going to turn it over on downs at their own 40-yard line here with 9:12 left to play in the ball game. Trailing Southeastern Oklahoma 48-14. The Weevils take their final road trip of the year next Saturday. We'll travel to East Central Oklahoma. And things don't get any easier here in the Great American Conference, as East Central was on a 6-game winning streak coming into today. The last score I had on them a moment ago, they were leading. They lost. They lost to Ouachita this past Thursday night in a close one. Ouachita had to come from behind and win it in the final minutes of the ball game to defeat East Central. Southeastern moves it down. They pick up 7 on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Ball spotted down at the Weevil 33-yard line. We've got a new quarterback now for Southeastern, and that is going to be Weston Conaway, a redshirt freshman out of Plano, Texas. Got a new running back as well, Jalen Shaw. Going to leave it with Shaw right up the middle. Shaw hit at the line of scrimmage. He'll get a yard, and that's all he'll get there. Making the stop for the Boll Weevils, Demarius White, the linebacker for UAM. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 for Southeastern Oklahoma. There was a flag on the play. Let's see. Had offsetting penalties against UAM and Southeastern, so the play will stand where it's at. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for Southeastern. Ball spotted at the Weevil 32-yard line. 8:22 to play in the ball game. Southeastern leading 48-14. Southeastern's new quarterback, Weston Conaway. Going to have to hurry up and get this one off. Play clock down to 3. They'll get the snap off. Leaves it up the middle, hitting the backfield, breaks a tackle. Going to get it down back to about the 32-yard line, back to the line of scrimmage, and the Weevils will make the stop on him there. Coming over to make the stop for UAM defensively is Charles Cameron. Going to bring up a 4th down and 2 now for Southeastern. He stayed in bounds, so the clock continues to run. Make it 4th and 1. He did get about a half a yard on that last play, as that was Jalen Shaw on the carry. So 4th down and 1 at the Weevil 31-yard line. Southeastern goes with a bunch set. 3 tight ends in the ball game on the wide side of the field. They hand it off left side. Gets it to the 30. He'll have the 1st down as he goes inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. It's Jalen Shaw on the carry. Weevils can't stop him. They'll pick up the 1st down and move the chains. And clock will continue to run here with 7:22 left to play in the ball game. Southeastern with a commanding lead, 48-14. But this Weevil defense still fighting hard. They got a lot of fresh jerseys coming in now for Southeastern. Got a look like a whole new offensive line, a new quarterback, new running back this series in Shaw. Conaway, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. Low snap, picks it up, hands it off to Shaw. It's a busted play. It took too long to develop, and they'll stop him for a yard loss. So they'll drop him back at the 29-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 11 now for Southeastern. So we go under 6.5 minutes left to play in the ball game. Southeastern looking at 2nd down and 11 from the Weevil 29-yard line as they look into the sideline, waiting for the play to come in. Now they come to the line of scrimmage. They go with twin receivers wide left on 2nd and 11. Conaway hands off again to Shaw. Shaw loses the football. It's on the ground, and the Weevils are going to come up with a fumble recovery. As UAM comes up with a loose football, they'll have it 1st and 10. And coming up with the fumble recovery for the Boll Weevils is going to be number 15. That is Alfrini Hankins. Hankins comes up with the fumble recovery at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Boll Weevils. 6 minutes left to play in the game. Weevils get the football back. Dorian Manuel stays in at the running back. Klein-Peter, your quarterback. Twin receivers go wide right. Edwin, straight drop back. They'll rush 3. Now he's forced out of the pocket, rolling to his right. Looks down the field, fires over. It's going to be incomplete, intended for 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥. Ball thrown just a little high, and 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥 couldn't get up high enough to bring it down. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Caleb Jacobs will check into the ball game. Ian Mesh, the tight end, will check out. Weevils will go with 4 wide receivers. And Southeastern rushing 3, dropping 7 back in coverage. They're going to hand it off to Dorian Manuel. Manuel out over the 40, 45. He's out near the 49-yard line before he's finally brought down there. A gain of 14 on the play, and we'll move the chains, and that'll be a 1st down for the Boll Weevils. Here with 5:43 left to play in the ball game, Weevils quickly back up to the line of scrimmage. Klein-Peter hands it off again. Manuel across midfield into Storm territory down to the 44-yard line. A gain of 7 on that play. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 3. So 2nd and 3 for the Weevils from the Storm 44. Klein-Peter wanting to throw on 2nd and short. Has all day. Now looking deep down the field. Airs it out and overthrows everyone. He's standing at the 50. That ball goes to the back of the end zone, so 60 yards in the air, but overthrows 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗔𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗥, his intended receiver. And the Weevils will look at 3rd down and 3. So 3rd and 3 from the Storm, 44-yard line. They bring the blitz. Klein-Peter throws it, releases it. Flags come in. They're going to blow the play dead before the ball is snapped. And I think that's the Savage Storm was in the neutral zone before the ball was snapped. Nope, they're going to call UAM for motion. So we'll back them up 5. It'll be 3rd and 8. So slide it back at the 49-yard line. 3rd down and 8 for UAM. 5:07 left to play here in the 4th quarter. The Savage Storm leading 48-14. Edwin Klein-Peter calling for the snap. Gets it. Steps back in the pocket. Airs this one out and throws it out of bounds down around the 20-yard line. Intended down there from Mansfield. He was in double coverage. And the Weevils will look at 4th down and 8. From the Savage Storm, 49-yard line. The offense is going to stay out on the field. As the Weevils trail 48-14 here this afternoon. Manuel will stay in at running back. Twin receivers go to either side. Southeastern will show a 4-man front. They will rush 4. Klein-Peter forced out of the pocket, going to keep it himself. Edwin running inside the 45, dives to the 41-yard line, make it the 40. He'll have the 1st down as they'll move the chains, and the Weevils will keep the drive alive with 4:44 left to play in the ball game. They quickly come back to the line of scrimmage. Klein-Peter hands it off to Manuel. Dorian inside the 35, gets tripped up and brought down at the 33-yard line. Dorian, how about a gain of 8 on the play, down to the 32-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 2 now for the Boll Weevils. And UAM in the up-tempo game, is once they get things rolling, they'll go up-tempo. They come to the line, snap it quickly. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟 throws a quick out route, complete to Mansfield. Mansfield to the 25-yard line. Going to be wrestled down there. Coming up to make the stop is Michael Hookfin for the Savage Storm. But that'll be good for another first down for the Boll Weevils as they'll move the chains down to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10. UAM ball on the left hash mark. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟 again. High snap, bobbles it, pulls it down. He's going to be sacked. The bobble snap just disrupted everything. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟 had to eat it. It's going to be a loss back to the 29, so a loss of 4 on the play. Bring up a 2nd down and 14 for the Boll Weevils. 2nd and 14 from the 29 of Southeastern. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟 again forced out of the pocket. He'll run it himself. He'll get a couple of yards. He'll get it back a couple of yards back to the 27-yard line. Bring up a 3rd down and long now for UAM as we go under 3 minutes left to play in the game. Southeastern leading 48-14. Weevils looking at 3rd down and long here. 3rd and 13 from the 27-yard line of Southeastern. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟, a straight drop. Sets up, fires down the right side into a crowd. Going to be incomplete, intended over there for 𝗗𝗏𝗏 Smith. You had the cornerback covering, the safety coming over the top. Just luckily it wasn't intercepted. So it'll bring up a 4th down and 14 now for the Weevils. Incomplete pass, stop the clock with 2:41 left to play. Twin receivers come wide left. That's Mansfield and Jacobs. Smith goes wide right. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟. He'll take off running. Now pulls up and throws it to the end zone. It's going to be caught. Was he inbounds? Yes, touchdown, Boll Weevil. Mansfield, I believe, with the catch. I'll make sure on the number there. Yep, it is Mansfield with the catch in the back of the end zone as he went out of bounds making the catch. And the Weevils score with 2:32 remaining here in the 4th quarter. That'll make it 48-20. Yeah, it looks like we're going to leave the offense out there and go for 2. No. Now Southeastern's going to call a timeout just to talk about it. So we'll take the timeout with them. We'll be back right after this. Well, the Weevils get on the board again. It's 48-20. Southeastern still with the lead. Weevils going to leave their offense out there and go for 2. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟 works out of the shotgun. 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗖𝗟 wanting to throw on the 2-point conversion. Throws it up for Mansfield. Going to be incomplete. So it will fall incomplete. And the Weevils trail by 28, 48-20. 2 minutes and 32 seconds remain here in the contest. On the afternoon, Southeastern Oklahoma has run 72 plays for 398 yards. The Weevils, 58 plays, 242 yards of total offense on the day. Southeastern with 21 first downs, UAM with 11. On the ground, Southeastern with 193 yards on the ground, while UAM has 98. Through the air, Southeastern 205, UAM with 144. A lot of that coming here in the the fourth quarter here late in the ball game for the Weevils as far as offense goes here in the second half. Again, we got 2:32 remaining. Got one more home game 2 weeks from today as we'll take on Southern Arkansas. That ball game's 2 weeks from today. We travel next Saturday to take on East Central. It'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff as well, so hope you'll join us for that next Saturday as we'll be on the road. Of course, we'll have the game for you right here on KHBM 93.7 FM, your home of UAM Sports. Checking some other scores from around the conference this afternoon. Southwestern Oklahoma was leading Arkansas Tech 21-19. That ball game in the fourth quarter. Southern Arkansas defeated or leading Oklahoma Baptist 52-20. And Henderson State and Southern Nazarene were all knotted up 35-35 in the fourth quarter. Harding was leading Northwestern Oklahoma State 14-0 in the third period. The Weevils try an onside kick. It's going to go out of bounds. And Southeastern is going to get the football as it goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. That's where Southeastern will have it, 1st and 10. Southeastern, no timeouts. They don't want the clock to stop. We will still have all three. We'll see if Coach Jackson uses them. Trailing 48-20. The Savage Storm will come from the sideline and straight to the line of scrimmage. See how our quarterback is this time. Got a new quarterback. It's going to be Riley Russell, the sophomore out of Texarkana, Texas. Will be the quarterback. On 1st and 10, they'll take the snap. Going to keep it himself. Comes around the right side, out over the 40, the 45, runs out of real estate and goes out of bounds. At the 46-yard line, that'll be good for a first down as they'll move the chains. And they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Riley Russell at quarterback, now the third quarterback we have seen for Southeastern this afternoon. They lead at 48-20. Weevils scored first, led 7-0. Southeastern went on to score 35 unanswered to lead it at halftime, 35-7. Now Southeastern will hand it off to Shaw. Shaw across the midfield to the 40, down to the 30, finally caught from behind and brought down at the Weevil 23-yard line. Wow. Jalen Shaw with the carry down to the Weevil 23. 1st and 10 now for Southeastern with 1:23 left to play. 1st and 10 for the Savage Storm at the Weevil 23. They lead at 48-20. The quarterback, Russell, out of the shotgun. He's waiting for the play clock to run down. Now snaps the football, hands it off to Shaw again. Shaw going to be hit and dropped for a yard gain. Coming up to make the stop for the Boll Weevils this time is going to be Amari Sibley. Amari, a freshman out of Zachary, Louisiana. Gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9. And the Weevils use one of their timeouts. With 51 seconds remaining in the ball game, Southeastern leading 48-20. We'll take the break and be back here in just a moment. On 1st and 10, Southeastern Oklahoma State will hand it off to Shaw. Shaw up the middle, inside the 15 to the 10, all the way down to the Weevils 6-yard line. Make it the 7-yard line. 1st and goal to go for the Savage Storm. Under 25 seconds left to play. 48-20, the Savage Storm with the lead. Russell, the quarterback, work out of the shotgun. Play clock down to 8. He's going to take the snap, hand it off to Shaw again. Shaw, left side, inside the 5, still on his feet at the 3. They're finally going to stand him up at the 2-yard line. And play will come to an end, as that will be your ball game here this afternoon. The Savage Storm of Southeastern Oklahoma State University get the win over the Boll Weevils here today. 48-20, our final score here at Convoy Leslie Cotton Bowl Stadium. Southeastern Oklahoma will improve their record to 6-3. The Weevils are going to fall to 3-6 in Great American Conference play. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back and wrap this one up for you right after this timeout.